15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Cole gets the snap down. Carlson swings the right leg to the uprights. No good. He missed it wide right. It started down the middle, hooked a little bit outside. And the Broncos take over on their own 38. The interception does not hurt Denver.
Oh, boy. That was something. Thank you to Jason Horowitz on Raiders Radio there. I asked Manny, hey, can you find a highlight of last night's game? And he gave me a Daniel Carlson missed 48-yard field goal.
Well, don't give me such a difficult assignment.
Yeah, it's apropos.
Honestly, I feel like I just asked you to, unravel the Da Vinci Code there. This was a terrible game, but it doesn't mean, Pearl, that we can't take things away from it. Denver Broncos win this one 10-7. They now move to 8-2. And I think the big question is, the defense, no doubt. We understand this is a legit Super Bowl winning defense. This has got Orange Crush 2.0 type of, possibilities. But the offense, considering Sean Payton is there, and I know it was windy last night, but they could not execute anything. And they're lucky to come away with a win.
Well, I mean, first of all, this game belongs in the Hall of Fame in Canton. They should have a shrine. So in future generations ask, what was Thursday Night Football like? Son, it was like this game last night. This was a Thursday night, is the most Thursday night game I've ever seen in my life. And so I'm not going to count that against Sean Payton. But the thing, and I think you're pointing to, it's been like this kind of all season where the offense will stall for about 53 minutes. And then all of a sudden emerges out of nowhere. Do you remember when Brian Billick was the offensive guru in 98 with the Vikings? Then he went to the Ravens. And he was supposed to be this offensive genius in the mold of Bill Walsh, and they never scored at all. But their defense was single-handedly won the Super Bowl. So maybe if you squint, this defense is good enough to do that. I personally don't think so.
Really?
Because of the competition in the AFC. I think as great as the defense is it really going to be able to hold down, if you look at the playoff field, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, possibly Lamar Jackson? Because those guys are even great defense beaters, I think. Unless Bo Nix, they got to straighten out this offense. And it's kind of weird that Sean Payton, who loves Bo Nix, is not really getting it moving right. So my takeaway is the offense isn't good enough to get the team where it wants to go.
I mean, they are a huge liability. And normally, Bo Nix is kind of in a coma for 3 quarters and then comes out of it in the fourth quarter. We did not get that last night. It was just straight coma the whole time. And, obviously, credit to the Raiders defense. They had a game plan. It was a good game plan on defense. They harass Bo Nix. Anytime you get pressure on Bo Nix, he just turns into a pumpkin. You see the orange jersey. I mean, when he has no time, you have no idea where the ball is going. And he had 2 interceptions last night. One of them was not his fault. Went right off of Troy Franklin's, hands. Ashton Genty had one of those on the other side. There was a lot of deflected balls in the air, and all of a sudden the other team's coming down with it. But nobody could get over their own 30. So it was like the field position game was just bananas. And, I think Bo Nix is probably the one thing that's kind of holding the team back. It's one thing to come away with a win over the Giants or something and put together this all-time fourth quarter. And I know he beat your Philadelphia Eagles too, Pearl, earlier in the season. But I don't know if I trust him when things get hairy, because Las Vegas had nothing, and the defense was able to get to Bo Nix in a way that I was pretty shocked. I was pretty shocked they made him look that uncomfortable.
The one stat that I saw that summed this game up, both teams had more penalties than first down, and that's the first time it's happened in a game since 1950. Knicks, and some of the highlights, actually, Manny should have played a highlight where the best play that both quarterbacks, Geno Smith with the Vegas and Bo Nix, the best penalty was when they ran away from the pass rusher, were able to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, without an intentional grounding.
That was like, oh my God, what an athletic play by Geno Smith to get the incompletion. That's where the game was, because Nick Bonito was running wild for Denver and Max Crosby was running wild for Vegas, 2 pass rushers. It was as ugly as could be. One thing you did say, when things get hairy, Bo Nix will mess things up. But then again, when things get hairy in the game in the fourth quarter, there's obviously something there. You can't deny. So it's not that simple. It does seem like a little magic. So maybe this team does defy logic. Again, think about it. They were the number one seed in the AFC right now, the best record in the NFL, 8-2, because they played an extra game. If it's the fourth quarter of a playoff game, are you sure we don't trust Nix? Because I will hold out a little bit of a carrot that he has had these fourth quarters where everything comes together.
I don't know, man. Like you always tell me that, a point differential matters when it comes to Super Bowl contenders. And that's what we're talking about here when you now have the lead in the AFC. Obviously, we'll see what everyone else does this weekend. But you always tell me point differential matters. And, like, the Broncos are winning these games by like the smallest of margins.
And they lost by the smallest. They're losing
by the smallest of margins too. But like this is not. I think that I guess do you give credit to a team for kind of pulling out some of these crazy wins, maybe gritty, gutty performances, or do you look at them and say clearly this is flawed? Like if you can't beat a Raiders team that I know it's a division rival and I know it was windy and all of that, but like you should smoke the Raiders. Smoke them.
Yeah, they're heavy favorites.
And Geno Smith, by the way, for the entire fourth quarter, the guy's on one leg. And the defense again, they did their job. But don't you have to look a little more dominant to actually be considered a Super Bowl contender? I mean, really, the only two games that they've even won by 2 scores is Tennessee, Cincinnati, and Dallas.
Well, Tennessee was 20-12, so it's technically one.
I'm sorry,
score.
it was a one-score game.
I guess it's one
can't
score.
do math.
Yeah.
No, it was then Dallas is basically your only one. I mean, they should have lost that game to the Jets. They could have lost that game to your Philadelphia Eagles. The game against Houston was crazy, and then last night, I see this defense as being super ferocious, but I don't think the offense is good enough. And by the way, that's on Sean Payton. He is the offensive guy, and he's got his dude, Bo Nix, that he wanted and that he, has said was going to be an MVP.
Yeah.
EJ, wasn't that the line from Sean Payton before the year? He's going to be an MVP. Well, I don't know about that. Not yet.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. They face the Chiefs next week. That'll be a real test of where they actually are. But you're right, the Raiders were so bad. Geno Smith, I feel bad. He got screwed by his teammates in 800 ways last night.
Yeah.
There was one interception that went off Ashton Genty's hands. There was a beautiful long pass to the rookie Thornton that went off his hands. But the ultimate
terrible
play,
penalties.
Did you see when he chewed out Raheem Mostert missed a blitzer? The running back missed a blitzer, and Geno went off on him. Not only on the field, and you could see it on camera, then actually Amazon showed it. He got back to the bench and yelled at him. Then he quickly apologized. I put that on social media. I would understand if Geno Smith decided to punch a teammate today.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
The irony. It would all come full circle.
Yeah,
he got punched in the face when he was a Jet.
I think we might be taking this game a little too seriously when we're analyzing it. Short week, windy conditions. It was hot garbage.
Yeah.
It was hot garbage all night long. So maybe this was an anomaly. But the way you describe the Broncos reminds me of the Vikings from 2 years ago, the year that Kirk Cousins led them to the gaudy record.
Yeah.
And they got killed by the Giants in the playoffs.
Yep. This reminds you of that?
In the sense that it's thin point differential, a lot of close wins over bad teams.
Yeah, crazy comeback that
crazy
season.
comebacks. The year they beat the Bills.
Yeah, and the Bills.
Yeah.
Rather forget that one.
With one-handed catch. So I think that you point to point differential, and we'll look at some of the stats, but these narrow wins might not prove they're contenders. I mean, the AFC has kind of been down this year, but it's not that down. You still got Mahomes. You still got Josh Allen. Is this team good enough? And at 8-2, at least to credit the Broncos, that's what we're talking about. Like, can they get to the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah, they won 7 in a row. I mean, that's got to be the bar now.
I mean, we're not totally making fun of them, but last night was not. Maybe Sean Payton can just say to the team, you know what? We're just going to forget last night happened. We have a 10-day rest. We're going to regroup, and maybe a different team comes out against KC. It's Thursday night. It's a short week, man.
Totally. I get it. And, the point differential right now is actually plus 62 for the Broncos, which is a little higher than I thought, but not even as the best in their own division, because Kansas City is better at plus 76, and it is the lowest of any, besides the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's plus 7. It's lower than the other division leaders in the AFC, because the Colts are killing it at plus 109, and the Bills and the Patriots both are plus 68. And Kansas City is better, as I said. See, here's the thing, right, about assessing whether or not the Broncos are really Super Bowl contenders, because their defense definitely is. But remember last year, the Kansas City Chiefs won all those one-score games?
Yeah.
And the record was 15-2.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, they're still dangerous. That's because they're the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, I think I have a little bit more of a track record considering they've been in the Super Bowl for half the decade. And I don't know if I have that same faith. And, yeah, Broncos, are they legit Super Bowl contenders? You can call us 888-710-4ISN. Can we flip over to the Raiders for just a second?
If you want, Mag. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do with this team.
Chip Kelly should have to give the money back. What is he thinking up there? And I get it. Windy conditions, Pearl.
Yeah.
Might be good for maybe some short passes, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you try to get your amazing tight end maybe matched up on a linebacker instead of a defensive back or something like that to get Brock Bowers in any way involved in this game. If I'm Tom Brady, I don't know if he was there last night. They definitely weren't going to put him on camera again because that bleep storm from the last time when Brady was in the coach's box with the headset and it launched 1,000 think pieces. But, I mean, I hope that Brady, made a phone call at least at halftime. Brock Bowers must touch the ball. Yeah. So congrats. He got 1 catch on 3 targets. He's the best weapon that you have. You just traded away Jacoby Myers. You've got nothing except for Genty and Bowers. What was going on with Chip Kelly yesterday?
Well, I read there was a narrative in Vegas that they really wanted to run the ball more. That Chip Kelly, ironically, was getting criticized for not establishing the run, which he did too much of at Ohio State last year on his way to a title. So Ashton Genty got 19 carries. That was the philosophy last night. And it started off like gangbusters. What happened, I think, was they left way too many points on the field in the first quarter.
Definitely. They
should have been up 21-0. So I think their plan was run the ball, and I think that's why he got off track. But, I've been critical of Chip Kelly specifically last couple of years, which is so weird. Because at Oregon, he was the man. When we first started working together at SI, people don't understand. Chip Kelly was the genius. And I don't see any of that right now. I don't know what happened. I guess everyone caught up with Chip Kelly's offense, and it hasn't really translated the NFL. They had a blip in Philly where it was innovative, but quickly people caught up with his scheme. So I questioned this hire to start the season. I was like, one thing is go old school with Pete Carroll, but why Chip Kelly now? It doesn't seem like he's got whatever the formula is for the NFL. He doesn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, young people gather around. There was a time when we were tracking Chip Kelly's flights around the country to see whether or not he was going to take that Eagles job, and then he did, and he wouldn't, and then he did and didn't. And then ultimately he did take that Eagles job, and they won 10 games, actually, but it didn't go well.
Nick Foles had a 7-touchdown game with Chip Kelly, and then somehow, the rest of the NFL figured him out.
So obviously one part of and a crucial part of this game has nothing really to do with Chip Kelly, which is the Broncos go on 11-play drive. They miss a field goal. Their guy misses a field goal short. It was a 58-yarder, I believe. And then, so you got great field position. Raiders take the field. Interception on the very first play. And so that one, I guess, for Chip Kelly is not his fault. That was a 7-7 game at that point. But it's just been so disappointing. And can I ask another question about the Raiders? 2 things. One, I said they were out of their minds not trading Max Crosby at the deadline. We saw what defensive players were going for at this deadline. You could have reset your entire franchise if you had decided to actually trade Max Crosby. And I know he might like Las Vegas. Well, cool. You can live there the rest of your life when you're done playing. You can be the mayor. Hell, you can be a senator from Nevada if you wanted to. You're that popular. You can be the governor. But they needed to get rid of him at the deadline for the sake of the franchise, Pearl, because now he's there, he's awesome, and it means absolutely nothing. And I'm sorry for the Raiders. I know he's a guy that you have a lot of connection to. Again, it's sports. You have to do what's right for the team, and I thought that was really, really a bad move to me that they held on to Crosby.
Normally I'd agree with you. Your logic is spot on, and that's what you do if you want to. Max Crosby's so special. You don't let that guy out of your building. And I'm telling you, it's not just the football. You're never finding another Max Crosby. First of all, he's the coolest looking guy, and he's the coolest. He's an incredible. He's an incredible locker room person for what it's worth. There's just a few people like that in the NFL. You go around the league. I understand why they wouldn't let him go. You're never going to find another Max Crosby. You might find a player that talented, but he's different. And you're the Raiders. You liked Pete Carroll because it brought some stability to the franchise.
I was dead
So
wrong.
you're going to trade your one ace away. So where's the stability then?
No, I mean, listen, the Raiders don't have embarrassing headlines right now like they did during the John Gruden era. So I'll give them that, but they are not winning. So what does it matter? You know,
What is a first and a second for Max Crosby going to matter either?
you need a quarterback. And by the way, do you remember when Kenny Pickett was like going to be the starting quarterback for a different franchise in the Cleveland Browns? Last night, Geno Smith's playing on one leg, and they let him finish out the game, and they went to Pickett when Geno was in the blue 10. But they don't even trust Kenny Pickett to hand the ball off to Ashton Genty a couple times.
I found out yesterday that Kenny Pickett is a Las Vegas Raider.
Yeah.
That was you were
Did you find out when he
years old?
broke up the fight with Gino and somebody?
No, I saw him on the sideline without his helmet on, and I thought, is that Kenny Pickett? Pitt legend Kenny Pickett?
I was reminded because Gino was in an argument with somebody again because somebody let him down, and Kenny had to come over and calm him down. Kenny Pickett, voice of reason.
Amen.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
wait, they can find a quarterback. I don't know if they're going to. I guess they're probably going to draft one this year. They don't need to trade Max Crosby to get a quarterback. They're still going to be in the quarterback mix.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Who's turning down first-round picks when you are 2-7?
I don't know.
It just makes no logic.
So you're going
to
to trade
me.
what? You're going to trade Max Crosby to who? I don't think the Cowboys were going to get a good enough package going to Philly or something and get the 32nd pick for a generational player.
No, I'm just saying I hang the for sale sign out and see who comes a running. Because I might get 2 firsts and a second, and a player. I'm talking about resetting the franchise type stuff. And I don't know why we would think this is good for the Jets, and we're lauding the Jets for getting 5 first-round picks now in the next 2 years. But for some reason, the Raiders should sit on their hands because of all the talent that's on this roster.
Let me ask you, who are you paying besides Max Crosby? What? That's literally the one guy on the team who's worth anything.
Do you
and
think
I thought
Myles
Daniel
Garrett
Carlson was good.
should still be in Cleveland, right?
Of
No.
course not.
Of course not. It's the same. It's
But
the same.
Myles Garrett's better than Max Crosby. Myles Garrett's probably the best player in the league.
Yeah, and he's wasting time in Cleveland right now.
I don't know. Max Crosby just feels like a Raider. You're right. Logic says Max Crosby should be traded. My heart says Max Crosby is perfect in that uniform. And, man, if they get a quarterback and they're good again and Max Crosby at 32 makes the playoffs, I'm going to root for that guy.
Shouldn't be about moral victories. 888-710-4ISN. He's not a guy who just should be, making the playoffs. He's someone who should be, impacting a Super Bowl. 888-710-4476. So that was a little bit on the Raiders last night.
But wait,
Rough.
Maggie, if you
Yes.
acquire that first-round pick, now you got 2 first-round picks, what quarterback are you taking? It's not exactly the best quarterback class.
The first round pick will be low, the other one.
How about this? You can always use those picks to move up in the draft
Move
if
up
you
for who?
want to.
For who?
Okay, then how about first-round picks in 2027, just like the Jets? People think that the Jets are geniuses for what they did trading Sauce and Quinnen Williams. Isn't it the same thing? Are we basically they're mirror images of each other?
Well, they got a lot of picks. They got
that's what I'm saying.
three
And-
first round.
It all came from these trades.
And so could the Raiders. They could have gotten picks.
You're not getting 2 first rounders for Max Crosby. That was, and by the way, 2 first
Why
rounders
not?
for no way.
You got 2 for
he's
Sauce
28 and he's
Gardner.
expensive already. I don't think you would have got.
So is Sauce. I don't know.
No, Sauce
so
is
was
20.
Quinnen.
Sauce was 25, and I think the general take on the Sauce trade was insane.
Right, but you could have maybe taken advantage of somebody. That's what I'm saying. Like a boomer bust team, or maybe it's someone like San Francisco. I don't know, guys. I don't have the exact thing for you. I'm just saying this was clearly defensive players were at a premium at this trade deadline. And the Raiders are sitting on a guy.
I think the reality is, too, is whenever the Raiders eventually get good, if that ever happens, Max Crosby is going to be long gone or way past his prime. So you got to make that calculation as well when you're looking at trading a player who's in the prime of his career, but you're not winning. When we get good, is this guy going to be worth this money, this time that we're not getting these assets back? The answer for the Raiders seems to be an obvious no.
Yeah,
the
but
Raiders are at least 3 years away. By that time, Max Crosby is not going to be the guy that we're talking about today, this pass rushing monster. And this, he's always going to be a great locker room guy. But he's not going to be the same caliber player.
He's the only good player in the NFL who wants to be a Las Vegas Raider.
That means absolutely
No,
zero
I don't
to
think
me.
so. I mean,
If I'm
Devontae
Johnson.
Adams wanted to be there a couple years ago. People like Las Vegas.
Tyler
They like
Lockett.
Las Vegas, but he is stuck by this terrible franchise forever.
And that's great for him. But,
Yeah.
like, if I'm
That's great
John
for the Raiders.
Spytek and if
Yeah.
I'm Tom Brady or whoever's actually making the decisions here, like, you got to be a little more cutthroat and calculated about this. The guy, you're not sending him to Siberia. He might just have to go to San Francisco for a little bit.
I mean, Tom Brady wanted to play for the Raiders. I think the Raiders. I disagree. I think the Raiders are a place that people will always want to play for them. It's a iconic brand. Now it's Las Vegas. Everyone wants to live in Las Vegas. I think that they will never have problems getting guys. That's not going to be the problem. The problem is getting actually put together a roster.
I don't know, who have they signed in free agency?
Just signed Christian Wilkins, who was terrible for them, but they got one of the biggest free agents a couple years ago or last year. They get Tom Brady wanted to go there. They traded for Davante Adams, who wanted to go to Las Vegas, like
to play with Derek Carr. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, part of it also he said was I'm from Fresno, and this is a closer place to my home. Like,
right.
I think that the Raiders are definitely an attractive place in terms of just. Nothing to do with football. Just the black and silver and the lifestyle. Yes, people want to go for it. Now you're trying to figure out the football side. So you lose Max Crosby, that stinks, and the guy definitely loves to be a Raider. You'll find other guys that want to play for the silver and black.
The Raiders.
Yeah, I think that there's something about Max Crosby that's just different. You're a franchise who's had kind of low character in many ways for 2 decades, and then you get this guy with this incredible life story who just really wants to be there. That, believe it or not, and I consider myself an analytic guy, that has some value here because the Raiders is just what has been positive since they lost the Super Bowl to Tampa Bay. Literally since that day, except for 1 year where Derek Carr looked awesome. Like, what do you have?
I'm telling
What's
you.
the point of this franchise even existing? If not for Max Crosby.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Same thing about the Jets, right?
No.
Why are we saying now there's actually maybe something to look forward to with the Jets? Maybe there's a little hope, a little bit of life, because they cashed in some chips.
The Raiders had the number 6 overall pick this year, and they took Ashton Genty. And what has that done?
It's Jack Squadouche.
So give me these picks. The Jets have more. I mean, listen, Max Crosby, the Jets have a lot of draft capital now because the Jets are going to get probably the 1 or 2 pick this year. Then they got
So could the Raiders, by the way. How many games are they winning?
Well, let's see. What do they have?
2 wins, the same as the Jets.
Yeah, so they're going to be 4 or 5.
Wait, the Jets have 2 wins or 1 win? One.
Jets
win.
have 1
Okay.
win.
Well.
The Raiders, by the way, probably could
Easy,
sneak
man.
into more wins. I don't think and again, this draft's not even good. The Jets are loaded up for 27. That is really huge. I cannot believe the Cowboys gave him that 27 better the first 2 round picks. That was killing me with Jerry. He could have gotten away with giving him the 2nd pick there.
Imagine what the Raiders could have gotten. 888.
What are the Raiders going to do?
For ISN. What do you want, Pearl? Fold up the franchise? Like, they have to try something. You want
Bet
them to
Stu
just
would
keep
like that.
going on the same hamster wheel, and look at where it's gotten them.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on a lot of this stuff. I'm a little surprised because you are the trust the process guy.
I just love him. I love Max Crosby there.
You can still love him somewhere else.
I think they really messed up their coaching hire too, and they messed up the last 10 drafts.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Brock Bowers is good, though. Wouldn't have known it last night. Was not really involved in the game plan. Coming up, we've got some bold predictions for you for the second half of the season. Also, for our fans in Oregon, I'm curious, how nervous are the Oregon Ducks about going to Iowa this weekend? I was thinking about that. Tricky place to play. And the Big Ten is not doing you a ton of favors as far as how many teams they're getting into the college football playoff. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Manny discovers another old band, the 80s. Love it. They're back.
Went very far in our one-hit wonder bracket from a couple springs ago.
Greatest one-hit wonder video of all time with the little weird cartoons, which was innovative 40 years ago.
There was a car commercial using this song, and that's how I discovered the song. I think it was Hyundai.
It's also in the Super Mario Brothers movie, so my kid likes it now.
So, did you realize what last night signified, Maggie?
What's up?
The second half of the NFL season has officially started. I got to tell you, the first half has been pretty okay, average. The second half is going to be fire, and you know why?
Why?
Because he's coming back. He, the one, the singular, the chosen one.
Lamar?
Shador Sanders will be in our life before soon.
Oh, my God.
It's got me. I was just thinking about last time, I'm like, this game stinks. What do we need to distract us? We need Shador in our life.
What about Shador?
Yeah, there are a lot of MVP, there are a lot of awards talk on the podcast world this week. Everyone's forgetting the storm that is coming late in this season. Thank God. We're really getting close to the late season. The last month is going to be wild.
That's funny that at the same moment someone said Jesus and you said Shador Sanders.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's just hilarious to me.
By the way, SI did a cover. Like they do digital covers now. They had the next chosen one about the Kansas basketball player, and that annoyed me.
He's
from Cleveland, so they're like, oh, okay, he's the new LeBron.
Oh.
Anyway, that's beside.
He's not the guy from Florida who's 7'9" or whatever.
Oliver Ryu. Olivier Ryu.
Yeah.
That was me in 4th grade, by the way. I was that much taller than everybody.
Freak.
How tall is he really? He's 7'9".
7'9",
I think.
7'9".
He
Wow.
moves exactly like Andrew Perloff. If anyone watched the highlight last
Like
night.
a baby giraffe.
Well, just like he's got the speed and the vertical of a young Andrew Perloff, which is to say not a lot.
I mean, we're gonna have 8-foot people soon, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah. But real quick, second half, Shador Sanders.
Okay, so Cleveland on the bye week, and you're predicting Shador is the starter coming out of that bye week?
No. So there's a report.
Or I'm sorry, they're coming off the bye. They play the Jets this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, they were off last
Yeah,
week.
Jets this weekend.
There's a report that
Sorry about
whatever happens to them, it does not matter. They are playing Shador the last 4 weeks from ESPN's Tony Grossi. Now, I think they should go 5 weeks, and I'll tell you why. Because they have protected Shador from Shador. Their last 5 weeks, listen to this schedule, Maggie. Tennessee in Cleveland, at Chicago, Buffalo, at Pittsburgh in Cleveland, and at Cincinnati. Except for the Buffalo game, every one of those is a bottom 5 defense. I mean, the Steelers' defense is bad. I don't know what happened last week with Indianapolis. Cincinnati's got the worst defense in the league.
Yep.
Chicago's defense is bad, and Tennessee's defense has been okay, but they rank 25th.
To be honest, Buffalo's defense is not very good either. It's just their offense is.
Yeah, I mean, they actually,
capable.
I looked up, they rank 12th, partly because their schedule's so bad.
Yeah.
Their defense, but, their defense is not getting better. It seems to be getting more injured.
Oh, yeah.
None of these teams are really destroying quarterbacks. I feel like Shador can do some things here. I feel like not only is Shador going to play, he's going to be, assuming Dylan Gabriel doesn't catch fire and win the job, I think Shador is going to be okay. You're talking last month of the season, a lot of those teams are going to be injured and down to second stringers on defense. We are going to get the full Shador Sanders experience, and I don't think people are realizing that, which is funny because he's the only person we talked about coming into the season.
He's been buried on the depth chart forever. I mean, at some point, you almost have to give up. Like, the Browns are telling us they don't want us to see him right now. But here's my question for you. It's a good logic, and I get the report coming out of Cleveland that he's going to start. But think about it. You're 2-6. We're talking about the Raiders last night with their terrible loss. They have 2 wins. Jets have 1 win, clearly tanking. You got Tennessee, who doesn't need a quarterback, but they're obviously bad. New Orleans does need a quarterback. They're also bad. Like, if Cleveland really wants to have a shot at the number 1 overall pick, you can't afford to mess around with Shador here.
There's no reason to get the number 1 pick this year. It's not
trade out of it.
No, there's nothing to trade out. No one's going to trade up for that number 1 pick. I'm telling you, this draft, look at a mock draft and look at the quarterbacks there and look at the positions. It's a quarterback, safety, off-ball linebacker. Like, it is not a great draft. And that came out during the trade deadline. All the draft experts are like, yeah, people are trading out of 26 because it's just not a thing. Not just a quarterback, all the positions. So I don't think Cleveland is – there's going to be some tough decisions. Like, the Jets might have to stick with Justin Fields. There's
that
a
would
lot
be calculated because they know they have 3 first-round picks in 2027. So there's like a method to that.
But
madness.
Cleveland might think the same thing and might try and trade some of their draft capital for 26 to 27. Manny said it. Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, Lenore Sellers. You're tanking for those guys? Those guys are kind of Dante Moore, kind of projects. I think Dante Moore might go number 1. He's very young, and he's going to have to sit for a while anyway.
I'm going to be honest. At this point, who can tell the difference between tanking and just losing? I mean, it's the Cleveland Browns, for goodness sakes. It's the Jets, for goodness sakes. It's New Orleans, for goodness sakes. These teams are just bad.
The Browns did trade away Flacco and Pickett, so they did do some moves to say, well, listen, we are kind of tanking. The Jets are clearly tanking, but you're right. I don't know what the difference is, but has tanking ever worked for either of those franchises, by the way?
So you're going to have Shador come in, mess around, win you a couple games, and then the fan base is going to go nuts wanting Shador Sanders back, and now Shador's your starter. That's how you foresee this going.
Yeah, I just feel like the universe wants Shador Sanders in our life. I don't know why. I just think that he is not going to go away. He's one of those guys who just... Like, there's certain players that just, you think, oh, well, we're not going to have to deal with this story anymore. And then they're back.
Yeah, but they had a game a couple weeks ago. I forgot who they played, the Patriots, where didn't Dylan Gabriel, they were getting blown out. I'm like, where's let's see Shador. It's like he didn't even dress for
Yeah,
that
he has
game.
a pec injury or something. No,
How
he
do
has
you
a
get
back
hurt?
injury.
You run a scout team.
Yeah,
That's how.
he actually, they
They
say
should be able to hit him. He's still a quarterback on the roster.
They say he's doing PT. He's got a back injury like LeBron. You know, it's a load management thing.
Yeah, sure. Load management when you're third string.
He's a 23-year-old kid with a sciatica issue.
Yeah. Okay, let's
That'd be
get
rough.
to Andrew Bogish. What do you think, guys? Shador Sanders, 888-710-4ISN. Is he the only, what'd you say? He's the only thing that's the bright spot in the second half
Don't
of the
forget,
season?
I had two.
Well, I mean, I'm
agree.
I'm down on NFL football after whatever we witnessed last night. That was awful. So I was just thinking, like, how can we spice up these bad teams? Because there are some bad teams, like Andrew Bogish's New York Giants, for example. Oh,
Thanks for reminding.
unnecessary shot.
Yeah, no, that's what you do.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, seriously. Look,
Welcome back.
You guys got
Jackson Dart over there.
I know, Manny, with the jersey. Way to go all in.
Last night, Kirk Herbstreit said this team needs to find their own Jackson Dart.
Yeah, because Jackson
Ian
Dart's the
O'Connor
man.
said that to
Oh,
us
Ian said
yesterday.
that to us.
Ian
Somebody said
said it.
that.
He goes, the Jets need to find their Jackson Dart. I was like, wow, he didn't even go Mahomes, Allen, Lamar Jackson. He said Jackson Dart.
Welcome to the future, old people.
Your headlines are,
I've seen the future, and he's wearing diamond necklace.
Got that right, sister.
your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action's even better with Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks and use code PRIMETIME. And get $50 in bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. They only scored 10 points. They had more penalties than first downs, but the Broncos won again. That's 7 in a row, 10-7 over the Raiders on Thursday Night Football. A post-game shrug from Sean Payton.
We got a punt, blocked a punt on the kicking game.
Hell yeah.
Our defense was fantastic. Too many penalties on offense that put us in a hole, and that I got to be better also. But good win.
See some of those special teams plays last night? Wow, some of those punts getting right,
calm down,
out
Dart.
of bounds and inside the 5-yard line. We had some of those where shanks. It was awesome.
That was the weirdest, greatest punt of all time. The one that just hit the ground and went completely sideways out of bounds.
What a gorgeous punt. Are you kidding me? Best part of the night. Let's
you're
be
right.
honest. It was
You know,
10 to
block
7.
punt. Block punt is fun.
Yeah, that was also exhilarating. But I mean, come on, a punt inside the 5?
So he's
The
not going to
sideways
acknowledge
punt.
that because that acknowledges a special teams failure. He's not going to do that.
Or special teams, awesome. The guy who got through
Yeah.
and blocked it.
Somebody screwed up.
No,
Yeah,
block punts are cool, but you know what's cooler? Punts inside the 5.
I think we're using
This is
the term
all.
cool
This is all we
loosely.
have for this game. By the way, block punts and punts in the 5.
Exactly.
This
It
is
was the
all
most
we got.
exhilarating part of the entire night.
Exhilarating is quite the word.
Exhilarating, capital X.
Not how you spell it. Denver's defense remains their saving grace, holding the Raiders under 200 yards and sacking poor Geno Smith 6 times.
It's usually darkest before dawn. We're gonna rise, man. We're gonna rise. It hurts. It sucks. I mean, I give my all to this game. Everything that I can do to win. Trying to figure it out, but we'll figure it out.
His team is 2-7. They did score first last night. An Ashton Genty run late in the first quarter, but that was it. Will Lutz put the Broncos ahead for good with a 32-yard field goal late in the third. Do you guys remember when the Dodgers won the World Series?
No.
It was apparently news to Clayton Kershaw. The Dodger lefty was on Mookie Betts' podcast explaining that he was trying to get ready to pitch and lost count of the outs in that last half inning of Game 7.
Barger's on first with the walk, so Kirk grounds in the double play, and I'm thinking, okay, 2 outs, run scores, game's tied. We got lefty Varsho up. I'm in the game. And then Bardo's just looking in my face, why are you throwing? It's over. We won the World Series.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah, he's the one telling me we won the World Series.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, that's great.
You were that locked in. Good for you.
Guys, he's a senior citizen.
Are
I
they
mean,
a-
this is like, why are you making fun of it? It's ageist.
Was this at Lakers practice? Did I hear basketballs in the background?
I had a kid's game, right?
Was that where it was? No.
No, I mean Kershaw probably called into the pod from his kid's game.
Maybe.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He would. I assume Kershaw is mostly a dad at this point, but he's only 37, by the way. I think he's one of the most mysterious retirements. Like he's got Justin Verlander.
You've seen him pitch, right?
He was 11-2 this year with a
No, I know,
2.80
but
ERA.
just like hanging on by a thread.
He's throwing like 88 miles an
Clayton
hour.
Kershaw
Right.
has always thrown 88 miles an hour. I mean,
Well, also he's got his moment.
Mid-90s
Game
guy.
6. He comes in, gets the out with the bases loaded. That was Game 6, right?
I
Comes
just say-
in, gets the, or is it Game 5?
He's still 11-2 with a 3.36 ERA because his brain is good, even if his arm isn't.
I'm saying he's got his moment. We have the final out that he got them out of a jam. I just
that
can't
was
remember if it was
one
game
batter.
5 or
It was
game
game
6.
5. It was the extra inning game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And there we go. So, extra inning game.
Oh,
then.
no, so what was that, game 4?
Game 4 then.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. That
He
was
got
that
hammered
game.
in the other appearance in the postseason, right?
I too would have gotten hammered.
Yeah. No, he's good. He can go home.
But it's still a 3.36 ERA and 11-2 record. He could probably sign for $15 million next year easily. I just think 37 is a bit young in this day and age, but whatever.
Well, I think the older guys still pitching are the outliers.
Is
Like,
that
there's-
an out? But are they outliers anymore, or is now
There's not
everybody
a-
going to 40? Because like Joe
No.
Flacco.
No, there's not a
LeBron.
lot of guys pitching at 40.
No, Scherzer. The
And-
Jamie Moyers and stuff is not as often as you think.
Well, it's Verlander really, who's just
Yeah, but
like
how
looks
good was
better
Justin
than ever.
Verlander?
I mean,
Justin Verlander last season wasn't spectacular.
No, Scherzer's good though.
Scherzer was I.
wait,
he
is it
missed most of
Verlander?
the year,
He
though.
really wasn't great either.
But in the postseason,
That's why I said I.
Postseason was good.
he was good.
Yeah.
Game 7, he gave him what, four
postseason he
and a
was fine.
third or something.
Yeah, regular season he was.
He was, I think, statistically the worst starter in September,
Yeah.
like in the majors.
Well,
He was
Scherzer
hurt.
struggled, right?
Yeah, Verlander was not great this year. He was fine. At one point, he was pitching well, and they couldn't score, and he didn't win a game for forever.
Got it.
But I don't think he didn't have a great year. But he pitched an entire season.
Is that Noah Syndergaard?
But he won the MVP Cy Young at 39, so that's a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just think when you're a
just-
certain level good, I don't want to see you become Jamie Moyer. Like Jamie Moyer, like part of his charm was that he always was kind of average. Like once you're Clayton Kershaw, I don't want you to become Jamie Moyer.
Yeah.
Like once your skills diminish, bow out.
You're saying the mystique for these Hall of Famers, you have to
Yeah.
keep some kind of mystique.
You don't want to turn
Yeah.
into Russell Wilson, is what you're saying.
Well,
Exactly.
I feel like with fitness and nutrition and vitamins, LeBron's going till he's 45. Joe Flacco's the most talented quarterback in the NFL right now. Like old guys are back. That's my
Okay,
theory.
old guy.
But that makes sense.
Really
37,
giant arm.
37, he's a baby. Are
Back
you
to
kidding
blocked
me?
punts.
I know, but 99.9% of the league is 25 years old.
Yeah, but again, he's always been thrown he's not a hard pitcher. So like I figure like he can figure his way out of a lot
But
of
here's
innings.
the question.
Yeah.
Do you really want to watch more of that? Like,
No.
This is all like, who's this for? Is it for the athlete to say when their time is up? Or like EJ says, should they have consideration for their legacy?
Well, it's the athlete though. It's like has the rest of their life to not pitch, right? So
Yeah,
if
but
you-
look at Russell Wilson, for example, right? Like he wasn't
going to retire at 35. What
No,
was
but he
Russ
might be
supposed to do?
damaging the legacy
No,
now.
You could. You could, but what else you got to do? You're just driving around your kids to basketball games.
I
Might
mean,
as
you're
well
a
go out there.
millionaire. Do anything, literally anything else. The world's your oyster.
It's hard to retire.
Look at
It's
Tom
hard to
Brady. He's out
retire.
there cloning his dog. You can get into some weird stuff. if you
Brady
want.
held on forever.
Well, he was still playing at a high level.
But it also feels like Kershaw's been pitching for 50 years. I don't care what his
Yeah,
age
you're
is.
right.
Like he's been here for so long, good for so long, so many conversations of whether he's good in the postseason or not. Like I'm good.
No,
I've had enough.
His first year was 2008.
No,
Well, I know.
Man, he was like 11 years
He
old
pitched
then.
in the Bush administration.
One or two.
the
It's
Dodgers
great,
went from
you know,
Koufax to Kershaw.
Direct
It's like Steelers head coaches.
pass of the torch.
You say it's smart to protect your legacy, but who does that? Every player hangs on 2 years too long. Every player.
Well, that's Kershaw's done that. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We'll leave it right there, folks. Thank you. Coming up, we got some interesting quotes from John Lynch yesterday. Do the Niners have enough to make a run to the Super Bowl in 2025? Passed on pass rushers at the trade deadline when they desperately needed someone. It's Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night.
Welcome back.
Little light is shining through the window.
Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, glad to be with you on this Friday. Got a lot of NFL preview and college football for the weekend. But Pearl, I was a little surprised that the 49ers stood so pat at the trade deadline. They made one smaller trade for Keon White. Yeah, because they have so many injuries, especially on the defense, yet they've been able to kind of patch this thing together, and the quarterback, and they've been able to patch this thing together. They're still 6-3, and they've got a very easy schedule. So here was John Lynch yesterday, their general manager, of course, on KNBR, talking about they did go out to the market, but they didn't like what they saw.
We've done it a lot in the past where we've given up a lot. Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, just about every year we've made one. We made a bunch this year, but you have to stay true. And that's not to say we weren't going to do anything, but we weren't going to get fleeced. We weren't going to overpay. It's just not good business. And, as they say, sometimes the best deals you do are the ones you don't do. And, I felt like in this case, we felt like as an organization that was the best course. And
Okay, so saying you don't want to get fleeced. I feel like that was a little bit about the Colts right there. Something, I don't know. Throwing
Or
shade.
the Cowboys.
Or maybe the Cowboys. Throwing shade towards somebody, right? But that's fine.
Brandon Beane, the Bills GM, said the same exact thing. So maybe there were some young GMs out there asking for the moon. Or maybe the Bengals in specific were asking, like, we want 3 first-round picks for Trey Hendrickson. There must have been some GMs who were asking for crazy stuff.
Well, the Bengals GM's not young, though.
Well, no,
the
I
owner,
know.
basically.
Well, yeah, Duke Tobin, too. But I'm just saying there must have been some bad offers out there because I'm hearing a lot of good GMs say, man, this was a horrible market.
Actually, literally, Brandon Beane said there's young GMs out there thinking this is Madden.
Yes. It feels like Lynch has that same energy.
I know, but why be condescending? Like, I don't know. I didn't love that. Don't blame your problems on somebody else. But anyway, I just wonder about this. If you gave John Lynch truth serum, is the reason why they didn't want to go maybe a little, like, push a few more chips to the middle of the table? Is it because they really felt like there was not a good deal to be made? Or deep down, do they feel like this season is not worth saving? And let's just see how good we can be with this ragtag team, right, of whoever we have left, especially on the defense. I'm talking more about the defense, but, Brock Purdy seems to be trending up. I don't know if he's going to play this weekend, but trending up. And maybe they just don't feel like this is the team worth investing in because it's just been so injury-plagued since Jump Street.
I think you could be onto something there. For example, Trey Hendrickson is the half-season rental for that guy. Are they going to give him a first-round pick and then have to deal with his contract? And in his 30s, there's no way. I think it was financial. Basically, we're not trading for a guy who we're going to have to pay because they've been paying so many guys. There's just no way. They've been talking all offseason about fiscal responsibility. There's no way they were bringing in an expensive player. So combined with the fact that I don't think they think, oh, we're on the brink of a Super Bowl, we have to pay up.
Which is so funny, though, because if you're a 49er fan, you have to be like, all right, well, yeah, you see a lot of injuries, but this has been an all-time coaching, job by Kyle Shanahan and by defensive coordinator Robert Saleh because they're 6-3 and they're 3-0 in the division. So yes, they are beating up on some of the bad teams. Like it seems like they get to play the Saints every week, but they also are 3-0 in that NFC West.
I have not been impressed. I know they beat the Rams, but the Rams have been very funny this season. What are these wins?
They beat Seattle in the opener. They beat the Rams.
Yeah, but look at the rest of their wins. I mean, they're basically.
No, I know, and they beat Arizona.
There's nothing here right now. You hear contender talks. Not a single person brings up the Niners.
Yeah,
but the second Bosa went down, the Super Bowl hopes went away.
And
that's
Warner.
and Warner. I'm sorry, you combine those two. So I think your first thought that this is not an all-in season. Now, listen, they're dangerous when McCaffrey's on the field. There's no doubt about it. But going all the way through the Super Bowl this year. One player was not going to do. Say, for example, Trey Hendrickson. I understand what John Lynch is saying.
So here's the situation, though, with the 49ers. I just want to double check one thing. Hold on. I'm just looking at their schedule. Stand by. Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure they weren't on their bye this week. They're not. So obviously they just beat Manny's Giants in New York by 10, but it was a game that felt like it was by a lot more. Next 2 games.
Thanks, Margarita.
Just calling it like it is. Facing the Rams at home. So, again, already beat the Rams once. It took overtime, already beat the Rams once. So, the Rams, who definitely are a Super Bowl contender, and then the week after that at Arizona. What if you win these next 2 games, and now you're 5-0 in the division, and now, Pearl, you're an 8-win team through 12 weeks?
And
I'll agree with you. It might not feel like a Super Bowl season, but aren't you going to look at the record, and especially the record against the NFC West, and say, wow, okay, I mean, at some point, you got to give a little credit for that.
Credit, fine, but I'm not betting a Super Bowl future on them at all.
Can I just tell you also how the schedule lines up for them? So let's say they can beat the Rams. I know it's hard to beat anyone in the division twice, but let's say they beat the Rams and they beat Arizona.
Right.
Then you got Carolina, and then you're at Cleveland, and you think Shedeur Sanders is going to be starting in that game. And then your bye week, and then out of the bye is Tennessee. There are wins on the schedule.
They're 14th in Super Bowl odds, Maggie. 14th.
Crazy. 888-710-4ISN for the San Francisco fans. Do you guys have enough to make a run in 2025? A poll question out there, too. Maggie and Pearl, maybe? All right, coming up. Last night. Oh, brother.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Uncle Sam's got his turkey day plans, sipping bourbon from a can, yeah, that Amy Lawrence in her power. But wait, hold up, no seat in sight. Her chair is gone this quiet night. Odyssey's finest, infinity's pride. Now Amy's pacing, no place to slide. She scans the room, but it's just air. A burning question, who took my chair? Ooh, who stole Amy's chair? Was it Zach Joe with his innocent stare? Or Ryan Hickey with his towering hair? It's not Pete Bellotti, he's never there. Somebody fess up, who stole Amy's chair? Zach says, hey, I didn't steal, I never mess with Amy's wheels. Ryan's hair is high and proud, but he swears he's innocent, yelling out loud, I got no motive, I'm just tall. His hair almost scrapes the studio wall. But Amy's still standing, no time for lies. Someone's gonna pay, no more alibis. No stole Amy's chair? Was it Zach Gell with his innocent stare? Or Ryan Hickey with his towering hair? It's not Pete Bellotti, he's never there. Somebody fess up, who stole Amy's chair? The chair is gone, Amy's on fire. Infinity Sports has one desire: return the throne before the show, or Amy's wrath will surely blow. Who stole Amy's chair? Zach and Ryan, do you even care? Is it hidden under Hickey's hair? Or maybe Gub's got it, he swears, I swear. It's not Pete Bellotti, he's still not there. Somebody fess up, who stole Amy's chair? So if you see a chair on the go, rolling around on some late night show, call Infinity Odyssey 2, Amy's coming, and she's looking for you. Manny's desk is a circus, it's a
One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining.
Vibes, hitting up the show. Maggie and Perloff dropping takes that glow. In the chat, Stunna Philo runs the scene, spitting fire so hot it makes the snow seem mean. Down in Louisiana, Uncle Sam's lit. Rare snow on the ground, but he don't give a shit. Snow in the south, man, what the fuck's this? While the Lotties ghosting work, he's always dismissed. Stunna Philo won't drop a shit like whoa. Uncle Sam's fun, snow on the floor. Daily says time to bust the plow now. While the Lotties at home chillin' somehow. Philo spittin' truth, he's the chat's big hitter. Drunkle Sam slipping whiskey in his glitter. Maggie's crushing staff, Perloff's got the flow. And Bellotti, he's like, work? Hell no. Daly's cracking jokes, where's that one plow? Louisiana snow, it's rare as Pete somehow. Stunna's calling out.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Gino the snap. Eyeing the pressure, can't take a sack, gets out of there, takes the sack.
Can't do it.
At the 43-yard line, Jonathan Cooper came through, and now you have to punt it away.
And Geno Smith, he's hobbled.
Yeah, he can't.
And I get that he's trying and he's showing a warrior mentality, but that's one of those opportunities there where he might have to take off and go. He just can't do it.
Yeah.
And you can't take a sack in that situation. Just can't.
Well, he did. That was Raiders Radio.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Geno Smith hobbled for a lot of the fourth quarter, but staying in there, which I don't even think was a good idea. Raiders lose this game to the Broncos 10-7 in a game, Pearl, that was pretty ugly. 6 sacks, I believe, for the entire game on Geno Smith.
Oh, my God. That was the ugliest game. The energy of that radio call summed up the game. It was how many times did both teams get into field goal position, then get sacked and pushed out of field goal position? It was one of the worst games I've ever seen. It reminded me of the Denver Jets game in the rain where it was 10-9 Denver. They somehow find themselves in these games, and they do win. But listen, they were booing Bo Nix. There was actually literal boo Nix last night.
I thought it was just people loving your Halloween costume.
Yeah, I know
Nix.
that. And Bo Nix, by the way, he said, I'm kind of used to getting booed because remember Bo Nix at Auburn got booed a lot probably. So they have a major downside on offense, Maggie. Like you can't ignore this right now. For the team with the best record, there's a glaring problem on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I guess the question is the defense so good that it can make up for it? And I guess so far the early returns on the season are yes, because they've won 7 in a row. But I don't know. I think that it's such a liability on offense, and usually Bo Nix is like really just kind of ineffective for 3 quarters, then comes alive in the fourth quarter, but he couldn't even come alive in the fourth quarter yesterday. 0 points scored in the fourth quarter of this game. It was terrible. It was all about blocked punts and missed field goals and just so much bad play. You mentioned sacks taking out of field goal range, and it was windy and just kind of all around ugly. Now, I do think the Raiders wanted to make it ugly. Right, I do think this was part of their game plan. They want to run the ball. They wanted to limit possessions, want to let Max Crosby kind of tee off, and the Raiders' defense did their job. My biggest question for the Broncos, does Sean Payton have, can he go into the lab here? They've got one game over the next 23 days because they've got the mini-bye here, Kansas City, and then their bye week. What can you do in this time to refigure your offense and get some juice going here? Because if they can even be middle of the pack to better on offense, they are a Super Bowl contender.
Well, first of all, they're 8-2. You might say they don't need to go in the lab, but no. Do you see the bones of a great offense there? Bo Nix, if you could make Bo Nix play like he does in the last 5 minutes of every game for the whole game, maybe, but I do not see first of all, look at the receivers. You got Cortland Sutton's great, but they never throw him the ball. Troy Franklin was great last night. He's been kind of inconsistent. There really are no answers, and they want to run the ball, just like Vegas wants to run the ball.
Yeah.
They want to run the ball and establish J.K. Dobbins, which is okay, but I don't see the personnel to rejigger it. I do not see anything like New Orleans Sean Payton coming back. If you have an X's and O's strategy to do that, I'm sure you should call Sean. He'd love to hear it because I don't see the capability of doing that in Denver.
Well, and they also did not make any trades at the deadline. So, I don't know what to do. And by the way, they are kind of middle of the pack on offense. I should give them a little credit. They're 17th in points scored per game, 15th in yards per game. Where are we here? 19th in third down conversion percentage. They had 10th in the red zone, I guess. It just doesn't feel like
They
it.
had big wins over Dallas and Cincinnati, who are 2 of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Fair.
So that kind of juiced their numbers up. But, I mean, here's the bottom line, too. You trade for somebody. Is the problem Bo Nix? I think that's really what we have to talk about. And problem might be the wrong way to describe it because a guy who knows how to win. He is not consistent, and he definitely throws those deep balls to no one. We saw one last night. He'll just fling it out there. He can get really loose, which is good and bad because you're going to have some bad interceptions with Bo Nix. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, it seemed like he and Sean Payton were they weren't going at it necessarily, but some really intense conversations on the sideline. And I think maybe asking, maybe it's not, is he the liability?
He's
Bo
definitely
Nix?
Was a liability last night. He was not good.
You mentioned it last hour, Pearl. It's worth repeating. This is the first game since 1950 where both teams had more penalties than first downs. 10 first downs apiece for each team. Now, again, bad weather, but 10 first downs apiece for each team, and both had 11 penalties. That's tough. I feel like that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was that kind of a game. It was ugly. And I think the other question, too, is Do you believe that the Broncos winning these games close and ugly, right? You mentioned they really just had 2 games where the offense kind of teed off. That was against Cincinnati and Dallas. But they've been winning these games, beat the Jets 13-11, winning these games by the just absolute skin of their teeth against Manny's Giants, took an all-time comeback. Does that show they're like battle-tested and gritty and, dangerous for the postseason? Or does it show that they are like, this is all kind of flimsy and really a bounce of the ball either way, and they could be looking at a really different record?
Because they beat the Giants?
No, I'm just saying Giants, Jets, I can go down the list of all the close
real
games
world
they
beaters
had.
right there, Mags.
Well, you had them, man.
And
I don't want
Raiders.
to relitigate that.
They just beat the Raiders 10-7. No, of course they're vulnerable in the playoffs. If they play like they did last night, there's no way they won't win a single playoff game. Now, I think they'll play better, but no, they do not look like a scary team to the AFC. I mean, their real test after the bye is Kansas City next week, and I have a sense it's going to be a much different story. And I think you raised a question. Is their defense so good that they can knock out a team like Kansas City, who really struggled against your Buffalo mid-defense? Like Kansas City looked awful. So we'll see. But no, I do not see that as a dangerous playoff team right now. I'd be surprised if anybody does. Like, is there anybody who's saying, I'm going to place a bet on the Broncos to win the Super Bowl? It just feels like they're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Maybe a year or 2 away.
But you know what? It's like, if they do beat Kansas City,
Gallo's a moron.
I bet that you, that's our pal Anthony Gallo. Chris McConnell will talk about Anthony Gallo. He's
Broncos fan.
our Broncos guy
Anthony
in the
Gallo.
office. And he's pretty miserable since we've met him. But this year, not so much.
He's always like that.
Fair.
He's also a moron.
That's subjective. That's subjective.
Gallo's a moron.
Okay. Maybe put the poll question up, EJ. Do you consider the Broncos a contender? See about that?
I mean,
listen, it's a tough division, and if they end up winning it, I think they need to put a little respect on the name. The Raiders, obviously, at the bottom, but say they do snap this streak of Kansas City's just absolute chokehold on the AFC West. That's got to count for something.
I mean, here's the bottom line. You got to look at quarterback. You got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes. Do you see Bo Nix beating them in the playoffs? And I say no, unless it's in the last 2 minutes when Bo Nix becomes Superman, then maybe. But I just think that right now, Bo Nix needs more development. And Sean Payton, you mentioned, we looked a little frustrated with him last night. When the rush came, he was inconsistent. Well, like all young quarterbacks. That's not a huge indictment of him, but I don't think he's ready to compete with those guys, especially in the playoffs, because Mahomes and Josh Allen have been there.
Yeah, Bo Nix is not good when he's pressured, but a lot of quarterbacks suffer when they're pressured, but he's also not good against the blitz. So he needs a little more time to figure that out, because the best quarterbacks, you cannot beat them with the blitz.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to Bo Nix in college when he was very, very good. Then he had these numbers against Georgia. Whenever he faced Georgia, who was the NFL, do you remember the 49-3 loss at Oregon? Remember the Auburn game? They just tortured him. He's not perfect against the pass rush, which is, listen, that's no indictment. Every quarterback has trouble when their guys coming at him, but they need to tighten that up. If they can establish a run and take the pressure off him a little more. Last night, 77 yards from J.K. Dobbins. They need more out of that. They really need to be a defense run team. That question is, do they have the capability of doing that against elite teams? And I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Houston maybe gave, not that you need a blueprint, but a little bit of it last week, because their defensive front was harassing Bo Nix also.
Horrible, yeah.
And the final score was 18-15 in that game. And obviously C.J. Stroud got knocked out of it.
Right, exactly. Stroud, I think the Texans had that game under control, then Stroud got a concussion. Again, they keep finding a way to win, but we've seen in the past teams that do that, Maggie, don't always make noise in the playoffs.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Can I just bring up something yesterday from our text thread? And it's not the thing you think I'm going to bring up. I want to bring up something else.
There's a lot going on in that text
There
thread.
was a lot going on in the thread.
Yeah.
And if we start talking about that other thing, whatever
Both should be very mad.
an ex-wife said about a former offensive line husband, I don't even know how to say this. I don't want to mess with the audience. I just don't want to bring that story up, because I'm going to have to leave the studio if we bring that story
Man,
up.
be a man.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the robot apocalypse.
So that's what I want to bring up.
Oh.
That was in our group chat?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I want to bring up this one thing, because we talk a little bit, because Perloff always likes to call himself an aspiring doomsday prepper.
In my mind, I don't actually do anything about it.
Exactly. Like you have all these plans of how you're going to, get to the middle of nowhere when the zombie apocalypse comes, but you haven't implemented any of this.
No, I need to own property in Montana, and currently I do not own property anywhere.
You're a keyboard GM.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You've got no.
I watch shows about this, but I don't actually do anything.
You've got no motorcycle. You have no idea how to siphon gas.
No, all the tech executives have gotten LASIKs because once the apocalypse happens, you won't be able to get new glass prescriptions. I have not done that.
Yeah, well, get on it. I mean, I don't know what you're waiting for.
I'm a little scared of having the lasers in my eyes, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, man up. But anyway, this is what I was worried about. This is what I was thinking yesterday. So, I don't love to read the news because it's such a bummer. But I was, and apparently there's been like this really big, Tesla sold a lot of their stock back to Elon Musk, and he's now going to be the first trillionaire that we have. Okay, not getting political here, just giving you guys some facts. There are some milestones and mile markers that Elon Musk has to hit in order to have this stock sort of, I guess, vest, and for him to actually become a trillionaire, Pearl. And there's two things. One of the goals is they have to sell 1 million robots with human-like qualities.
Okay.
And then the other is they need $10 million worth of paid subscriptions to the company's self-driving software. Now, the self-driving stuff, the Waymos and the self-driving cars, that's going to be here. I don't even know if that's such a bad thing. But the 1 million robots with human-like qualities are now just going to be in our society. And this is okay with everybody?
Human-like qualities like empathy and things like that? Are we talking about sense of humor?
Do they drink and smoke weed?
Yeah.
Well, humans do a lot of
Are
things.
they always 5 minutes late when you have dinner plans with them? Is that like, what are these human qualities? What do we got going?
Are they just like,
Are they irresponsible? Do
Yeah.
they not pay their bills on time?
Yeah, do they binge watch crappy Netflix series? I don't know what human-like qualities is a lot. 'Cause you're right. Actual humans, we are full of contradictions and we are full of whatever. I don't know. Are they going to be eating at the drive-thru?
Well, I mean, might as well get really dark. I mean, warfare has become about drones. Why wouldn't it become about robots too?
But
the human, I don't care if they're making your bed. I care about when they're going into another country.
Okay, well, maybe that's happening
That's
also.
happening.
But 1 million, that's a lot, guys.
Yeah. Why not just go straight to soldier? I don't even know what we're talking about here.
Well, maybe it is about being sold. I don't know. But this freaked me out a little bit. We're going to have 1 million robots with human-like qualities, and this is the only way the richest guy in the world gets even richer? He's going to stop at nothing to do this.
Well,
we
I
watch
wouldn't worry
Terminator.
about
We all know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Terminator 2.
All of them.
No, I don't think that's how AI is going to kill us.
What happens?
I think AI has this thing where they can create the ooze. Have you guys heard of the ooze?
No.
What,
AI
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
AI can
Good
create
sequel.
sort of this black sort of ooze that repeats itself on really quickly, and
so
then
it
it can
is
just
like
cover the
Terminator
whole
2.
planet. You guys never heard of the AI ooze? It's like it's a real concern.
Are you saying ooze, O-O-Z-E?
Yeah.
Like sludge?
Yeah.
Or like
the
when a
blob.
crowd sees an ankle breaker and they go, ooh.
Ooh, ah.
Again, I think Teenage Mutant
Olay.
Ninja Turtles is what we're talking about
Secret
here.
of the ooze. Prophetic. Wait, Pearl, I'm sorry. Why does AI create the ooze?
Because it can replicate it. Like it's a machine that once the algorithm starts creating the ooze, then the ooze keeps repeating itself and repeating itself and repeating itself, and
Why
you
don't you
can't
just
stop it.
unplug the machine? Doesn't matter.
There's no machine. It's not attached to a machine.
But so who's making the substance? How does that get created?
The substance makes the substance. It's AI. It replicates. And this isn't even going to be hard for computers. to do.
The substance.
You guys
makes
have never
the
heard of
substance.
the ooze covering the earth by
No.
AI? That's
No, I
like,
didn't
by the
take
way, I'm not like,
robotics, I took
there's like
journalism.
real
Big
studies.
mistake.
No. There's like massive talk about this. Like there's many ways that AI can kill
Okay,
us.
but hold on. You're talking about ooze. We're talking about a
Same
news
thing.
story that came out yesterday about in order for Tesla and Elon Musk to hit these kind of benchmarks that would make him the first trillionaire, one of the goals is he needs to sell 1 million robots with human-like qualities. And we're curious what that means.
But the same issue. Basically, you're worried those robots are going to kill
Do
us.
sports talk radio. No.
You're worried they're going to kill us, right?
have better takes. I'm worried that we're not gonna know what's human and what's robot. That's actually my biggest fear. Like Westworld, did you guys ever watch that show?
That
I
show-
didn't because that seems
Oh, it
insufferable.
was great first season.
but that was a show on HBO, but you couldn't tell who the humans were and who the robots were. That's what I'm scared of.
Really? You're not scared of dying?
Well, that, but like, I just want to know who's who and what's what. Like, I want to know if I'm interacting with a robot or a human.
Who cares? You're going to get killed by that robot.
If someone comes up to you and says, okay, Maggie, this is the last day. What do you guys say for yourself? Okay, are you a human or are you a robot?
Well, here's the
let me know
question.
which one before we do this.
Let's say a robot with human-like qualities does actually off somebody. Did they go to trial? Did they get put on the witness stand?
No, you dismantle them.
But can you?
I mean, I would hope so.
Electric chair.
You can't do that. We just
that might supercharge the robot. It might actually become stronger.
And like, then who's responsible? How about the person who programmed that robot? Are they going to have to go to jail?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean,
it's like you're accessory to murder, of course.
Yeah, we saw Michael Jackson's doctor go to prison for not by indirectly killing him. Yeah, the people who create the robots, if they're murder robots, put him in prison.
Okay, but you think Musk is going to that would happen to him? No way.
That's a salient point.
Well, I think you honestly, ethical questions, those are very interesting. But what if you're a country who wants to invade another country and you're going like, am I going to send humans or am I going to send robots? And if they become you're going to send robots. And then it's easy to go into another country because you're not risking any human lives. You're like, you know what? Let's send in all the robots. That's the main problem here.
So this was one part of the text thread yesterday. The other was us out of nowhere ranking fruit.
Thank you, Rick Ross.
Thank you to Rick Ross. Shout out to pears.
Shout out to all the pear.
By the way, I don't know if they're working. Sorry, he's still heavy.
He's lost a lot of weight since when he first came up, Maggie.
Okay. He put pears as like a number one seed, and so does Perloff as far as fruit is concerned.
Yeah, I love pears.
One of the worst takes.
Good Bartlett pear.
Strong disagree on this.
A pear is just like the worst apple you'd ever eat.
I'm with EJ. Anytime I buy a pear, it ends up just going bad. I end up throwing it out.
It's like if you eat a bad apple, you're like, oh, this apple went bad. That's what a pear tastes like.
Oh, you guys are getting bad pears.
It's the supplier.
Yeah, maybe you ought to eat the pear before it's all brown. Have you guys
I eat the right pears.
But think
there's
about
no
it.
flavor.
Perloff, you ever try eating bread before mold grows on
Wait,
it?
here's the thing, though. Even say the pear at its apex would be in a tart or some kind of dessert. I still wouldn't. I'd still take an apple
100%.
or any other kind of fruit.
Which you like
fruit.
more, pears or apples?
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. You guys like
Are the robots with human-like qualities going to kill us? And what's better, pears or apples?
And should the Raiders have traded away Max Crosby?
Do you guys like peaches and nectarines?
What's that?
Do you guys like peaches and nectarines?
Yeah.
That's a number one seed to me.
I do love a peach. I think blueberries are the number one seed.
And I would always go nectarine over peach. Am I the only one who doesn't like the texture of the outside of the peach?
Well, I always do the Trader Joe's canned peaches, which is kind of like curated.
Yeah.
Junk in a weird way, but it's still
that's
good.
so sugary, dude.
I know, but it's still a peach.
No, it's delicious.
And I'll eat a regular peach too, but that's how I usually like to eat the peaches.
Number one
Throw it in
fruit
that
seed. I think you guys are overthinking.
Syrup. Oof.
I think it's got to be blueberries, but for durability, it's bananas.
Blueberries.
See, strawberries are better than blueberries. Strawberries are
fresh
number one seed.
Strong disagree.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
Put that poll up. That'll be a 90-10. Blueberries?
Blueberries rock.
Do a second poll. Which you like more, strawberries or blueberries?
What about a kiwi?
No.
Jeez, guys.
No. Kiwi.
What about
hurt
kiwi?
the kiwi's feelings with that.
No, the kiwi is like that's the Paul basketball.
What about-
They're never making the tournament.
What about maracuya, guys? You had a nice, delicious maracuya? Delicious.
Oh, how about a star fruit?
Yeah, but it's so fancy. You're eating what? One of those every 2 years?
Not in Asia, it's not. It's everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, it's like an
it's
apple.
like a lychee?
Yeah.
Oh, man, guys. 888-710-4ISN. Perloff's pear take and Rick Ross's pears take was shocking. Nobody puts pears that high.
Specifically Bartlett. The pears that when they're soft and they're not quite overripe, amazing. My house, like, we all fight over the pears. Apples, oh my God. I've been feeding apples to my kids forever. We're all so sick of the apple.
There are a lot of varieties. Too many, probably. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, more for you in terms of midseason NFL awards, and we got to get to some college games that are going to shape the college football playoff that are happening this weekend. M&P.
You're in a
Oh, Shep had a big.
Daily was waiting by that glowing screen, hoping night shift crown would go to the king. Ship held it down night after night, with fire in his voice and truth in his mic. But the news came in like a cold hard slap. Pat Boyle's got it, felt like a trap. No shade on the kid, but let's be real, Shepherd earned a late night deal. Now Shepherd ain't sleeping and Daly's in tears. The Shepherd maniac's been loyal for years. We stayed up late, we rode every wave, but they gave it to Pat and dug Ship's grave. So we howled the moon and cursed at the sky, asking one question: why, oh why, oh why? Meanwhile, Bellotti still don't show up for work. No call, no text, just gone with a smirk. Yet Ship clocked in through the thick and the thin. Rain or shine, he'd always check in. Infinity, you broke our trust. We wanted Shep and that's a must. You picked a Boyle, but we needed flame. Now the overnights just won't be the same. Yeah, Shep, it ain't sleeping, we're twisted with rage. You skipped the vet for the new kid on stage. From the Bronx to the burbs, we're standing tall. Shep, a maniac's answer every call. So crank up the static, let the record show. There's only one man for that late night blow. Pat's got the slot, but it don't feel right, 'cause Shep, it ain't sleeping, not tonight. It ain't sleeping. Still ghosting.
Well, his wife flew south for a girls' trip flight. Left Andrew Perloff home for a few quiet nights. No poker, no bar, no rowdy old crew. Just a man with a plan and a fridge full of goo. Neighbors all thought he'd throw a wild bash, but the only thing he popped was a mustard pack stash. He dimmed the lights like it was date night. Fate sat down with a spoon and a paper plate. Hey, oh, Perloff's weekend, it ain't what you think. No beers with the boys, no late night drink. Just a salad piled high on some old white bread, and Tony Soprano yelling off his head. He don't need trouble, he don't need fun. Just a man and his mail till his wife's back done. Now Andrew Bogusch texted, "What's the move?" But Perloff left that message stuck in review. No invite sent, no plans to explain. Just him and Paulie Walnuts in a mayonnaise haze. He watched 5 seasons in 3 straight nights, wore socks with sandals and turned down the lights. He wasn't lonely, he wasn't blue, he just really loved eggs and a mobster crew. Hey, yeah, Perloff's weekend, it's a quiet kind of crime. No sin committed, just wasting time. With a bowl of nostalgia and a sandwich made of memories, yolks and helmets parade. He ain't out cheating or shooting no gun, just Perloff and Tony, and Bogusch gets none. He don't need cigars or to feel alive, he just needs that tang when the eggs collide. His wife
15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
You know, the most I used to do for exercise was stand up to count the money. You know what I'm saying? But now they give me fruit to eat. You know, I forgot what fruit had, tasted like. I eat pears now and like that. Shout out to all the pear.
It's Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
All right. I need more. I was sort of half following our text thread last night. That was Rick Ross. Can you explain the background of this wonderful, wonderful soundbite? And the visual was also awesome. What was he doing? He was in that barber chair.
I love you're looking at me for this. Yes,
And he
let
was-
me sit.
was he shirtless?
Gather
Am I
around,
imagining that?
everybody. Let me tell you about Rick Ross.
There was two different videos that were posted in the chat. One that was about him being in the barber chair, and then Manny added the pears commentary.
Shout out to all the pairs out there.
He was talking to, if I'm not believing, if I'm not getting if I believe correctly,
okay?
a British presenter. A British
bet.
pop culture presenter, and they had asked Rick Ross how he had lost all this weight, and he had mentioned that nowadays he
eats fruit.
He eats fruit. He put pears in his a bunch of fruit in his diet, and
He
that
said they give me pears, like the people that are around him just are handing him things.
The women who are fanning him now are giving him grapes and
That
pears.
follows. That I can believe that people hand
And
fruit to Rick
while
Ross.
he's doing this interview, he's shirtless in a chair with the gut all out.
It don't look like he's eating enough pears.
Or he's eating all the pears.
Listen, Maggie, again.
I'm sorry.
You guys see Rick Ross circa 2007. It's a different looking man.
Well, good for him.
Should we do it one more time?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, the most I used to do for exercise was stand up to count the money. You know what I'm saying? But now they give me fruit to eat. You know, I forgot what fruit had, tasted like. I eat pears now and like that. Shout out to all the pear.
Shout out to all the pears, all the moms of the pears.
No, but not even the pears. The pear. One singular pear.
Well, it's like
shouting all of them out.
Yeah.
Either way, they don't have ears, Manny. They can't accept his shout out.
Well, just bless all the pears out there. And then the other one he had, he's in the barber chair, Pearl,
Yeah.
and he's talking about Jaylen Brown. Oh, it's become like an epidemic here with the bad hairspray.
You got another
Paint
one.
on hair.
I know. So he's doing this spray on hair, and it's leaving marks on his opponent's jerseys when he's like driving to the basket.
Yeah, a shoe marker on top of his head.
Yeah, exactly. And so Jaylen Brown has become like it's an epidemic. He's just leaving skid marks. It's like
the real epidemic is male pattern baldness.
well, you're right. But this is not the cure. Like, if you're standing around at a party, maybe that spray-on hair is going to be okay. But Jaylen Brown's doing like the most athletic thing you can possibly do. He's playing 40 minutes in an NBA game.
He's also like a good-looking dude. Like he could easily shave the head and look totally fine.
He's got that beard to mask the baldness.
Yeah, he'll
like
look
Derek
cool.
White.
And he said he was shaving his hair after the time he burned the Knicks guy.
Lies.
I just don't like to tell men what
Typical
they should
Boston.
do with their hair, but because I know it's a sensitive topic, we went over that last week. But you're right. He should just shave it. Just end the madness.
By the
Or
way,
you should just eat pears.
Can I tell you my only experience with Rick Ross?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You've had one?
No, just a shit on TV. Have you guys know the show Dave about Lil Dicky, the rapper's career?
Yeah, Philadelphia native.
There's an episode with Rick Ross that Rick Ross made me laugh so hard. Is that dude hysterically funny? Basically, he lends a chain to Lil Dicky, and Lil Dicky loses it. So it is unbelievably
He
funny.
just shot it out of fruit. He's got a good sense of humor.
Oh my God, he is. Is he? I mean, EJ, you probably followed. Has he always been funny, or has he always been serious?
Oh, Rick Ross he's hysterical. Yeah. He's one of my favorite humans.
EJ, what music video is it that he gets pulled over on a bridge in Miami and he just unprompted
Speeding.
just jumps off the bridge to evade the police?
Yeah, speeding.
That's
And
a
by the
big
way,
dude falling into the water.
The stunt double used to jump off the bridge has dreadlocks, looks nothing like him. He's just another fat black guy, which is my favorite part of that music video. Rick Ross speeding, check it out. It is hilarious. But yes, he gets pulled over for a speeding ticket, and instead of taking a ticket, he just jumps off of some Miami bridge, and then it's a fat black dude with dreads. And I'm like, that's not Rick Ross, clearly.
Rick Ross
They
doesn't
really skimped on the budget for the stunt double.
Man, I love that. That's so great. Quickly, before we get to Bogish, Brent is in Seattle as a question about Oregon. Brent, this is a sneaky game for the Ducks. On the road at Iowa, anyone can lose at Iowa 16-13. Are you a little nervous?
Well, Kirk Ferentz is an excellent coach. They have excellent defense. Their offense is better. And I'm a University of Washington graduate, so I certainly hope that Iowa beats Oregon.
Okay, so you got a little bit of rooting interest in it. But, this is a big deal. Brent, thank you for the call. Because, Pearl, what did we see in the first college football playoff rankings? There are basically 3 teams out of the Big Ten that the committee respects.
Yeah.
One of them is obviously Ohio State.
Right.
The second is Indiana. They're the top 2 teams in the country. And then the third is Oregon.
Well,
and that's
sure.
kind of it. So if Oregon fall, I'm just saying they don't love the Big Ten this year.
Because the Big Ten is so deep with bad teams.
So if Oregon has a second loss here, they lost to Indiana at home, and then if they lose to Iowa, which is not a bad loss because obviously Indiana's amazing, but it is at home. If they go to Iowa and lose, that could be it.
Yeah, they're probably out. But I got to be honest, I can't get fired up for this game.
Why?
Because it's Iowa. I mean, obviously. They're hard to watch. And I don't know who Oregon. I mean, the funny thing about Oregon, we raised the bar really fast on them. Nobody was really touting them coming into the season. Dante Moore was an unknown. I think they started off after being super elite last year, number 6. I don't know what to expect here. I am so down on the Big Ten. It kind of annoys me because every week, everybody in the SEC plays a ranked team. And the Big Ten, it's all like somehow Maryland and Northwestern play everybody every week. So like Oregon, if Oregon can't beat Iowa, they don't deserve to be in the playoff, right? I mean, they're not a great team this year. They were a great team last year. I just think the playoff laid out the wrong way. I don't know if they're a great team this year.
Let's get to Andrew Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines, fruit-related and otherwise.
These headlines are sponsored by Progressive Insurance. The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
Shout out to all the pair.
In the end, we all probably owe a shout out as well to Daniel Carlson.
Cole gets the snap down. Carlson swings the right leg to the uprights. No good. He missed it wide right. It started down the middle, hooked a little bit outside, and the Broncos take over on their own 38.
Jason Horowitz on Raiders Radio. Carlson missing from 48 with 4.5 minutes left in Thursday Night Football, saving us from any extra ugly football in Denver.
Hallelujah.
The Broncos a 10-7 win in regulation, extending their win streak to 7, their longest since 2015. Boo Nix's team 3-0 when scoring 20 points or less, which is not sustainable.
Yeah, we got to do better. At some point, 10 points ain't going to be enough. We got to score more.
Nix threw a touchdown to Troy Franklin last night, but was picked off twice. His offense only managed 10 first downs, but the defense did its job again.
Shotgun snap, Geno Smith faces 5-man pressure. Geno Smith will be sacked back at the 32-yard line. It is a sack fest.
On a school night, 6 more sacks for the Denver D. That's 46 through 10 games, the most anyone has had since at least 1990. Speaking of sack fests, I heard Maggie want to discuss former Panthers center Matt Khalil.
I'm leaving. And I said I was going to walk out.
Ex-wife Haley is a model and influencer, and she was on a podcast recently becoming the greatest ex-wife ever. She said that their 2022 divorce is to blame partly on Matt's Khalil being too big for any intimacy.
Oh, jeez.
Anybody want that one?
I thought you were going to handle it better than that. You were so good.
What did I do wrong?
I don't know. There are kids in the car. Would you just not word it like that?
I thought I did word it delicately.
The last 45
Mommy,
seconds
Daddy,
have been dumped.
intimacy?
Pete Bellotti back here in the glass, behind the glass here, apparently.
Bellotti using his red
red
eject button at home.
He just ejected himself out.
Just dropped his elbow.
Out of his house.
Come on, man. Maggie's back.
Can I just say something here?
Please.
I think so. I follow Haley on social media. We've met her a couple times. She was a swimsuit model at Sports Illustrated.
Was she in pain?
She's like a comedian. You guys have to understand. She's a content creator. She's very funny. She does a lot of comedic content. All of her stuff is funny. I know she's beautiful and she's a model, but she is actually funny. I think she's 100% joking.
Has she worked red carpets?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that where I've seen her maybe?
She does all. This was a joke. Wow.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean,
think
he
so.
is
Or was she
6'4", 320 pounds.
Right.
I mean, forget.
No. The way she described it, she was being funny.
Well, so that was funny. Doesn't mean it's not real, though.
I think she was joking around. I think this was all a joke. She's really good at getting attention and doing this stuff for content. I don't think that this was real.
I guess if it is just a joke, I don't know.
Their marriage, guys, that's irreconcilable differences.
I don't know what the punchline is.
Well, I think she was just being funny and getting attention. The way that she said it, I think she knew what she was doing.
I agree that she delivered it like a comedian might, but I don't think that means that it's completely made up.
Honestly, Maggie convinced me last night that it was solely a joke. I believe her. I don't really want to dive too deep into this topic.
I will. This is what I'm here for. Hashtag journalism.
No, I don't. I mean, listen, no marriage breaks up because of that, does it?
That's why I said irreconcilable differences is doing work as far as a term, an umbrella term.
All right, I'll follow along here. If they physically can't be intimate, that could create real problems.
You talking about experience?
Now I'm gonna leave the room.
I mean, like marriages end because of those problems. Too much, too little, or we want to have kids, we can't have kids, we're not having kids. Like those are all real problems.
But here's the thing, though: they were married for like 8 years.
Yeah, and he's apparently married to a woman who has had his baby. So
T's and P's to her. I'm just kidding. I think this is all a joke. I'm saying I think this is all a joke.
Too many P's,
folks. All right, you got anything else for us?
Yeah. An NBA game last night. Just one of them only. Standalone. Clippers and Suns. James Harden didn't play. Kawhi Leonard didn't play.
Good Lord.
So the Clippers lost 115-102. Harden was out for personal reasons. Kawhi has a sore right ankle. And you guys mentioned very briefly last hour, Olivier Ryu debuting for Florida late in a 104-64 round of North Florida. He is 7'9", so he is now officially the tallest player in the history of men's college basketball.
Can you imagine being that kid on North Florida that has to go guard this guy? You play for North Florida. You kind of just want to get by scholarship, maybe partial scholarship for basketball. And now
your
you
NIL's
see a
$5.
7'9" guy come in, check into the game.
I don't think
Poor
he touched
Osprey.
the basketball, by the way. He did not even, no one even pass it to him.
Is he good?
He's
I don't
too
think so.
big to be good.
I don't think he's good. I'm hoping he's good enough to get the NBA like George Murison style and face Wemby just to tower over Wemby. But I don't think so. He redshirted last year. I double checked this. I literally don't think he touched the basketball in the game last night.
Okay, but he doesn't look like Manute Bol. It's not the same body type. Like Manute Bol was so wiry and so skinny. This is not. He looks pretty.
But he's 7'9", and at this point, Wemby was in the NBA. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen. He's definitely not a star.
7'7" was Manute Bol?
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school.
Oh, geez.
3-star recruit. He should be playing at Manhattan.
Well, he was offered by Stetson, and somehow Florida came in and swooped him away.
Well,
how did they do that?
Florida
Stetson
also
and
had
Florida
that
Atlantic.
heavy kid, too. They had Desmond Watson. Maybe I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I almost feel like, I don't know, I don't want to, this feels almost like, I don't want to say a bit, but it almost feels
a gimmick.
Like a recruit,
like a freak show.
Yeah, well, it brings Florida attention. Like, now look, I don't know if they didn't. I don't know if they knew they were going to win that championship last year, right? So this kid has become a story for them. I kind of wonder if they offered them as part because of the story of this 7'9" guy that's playing college basketball.
So he didn't get into the game until 2 minutes left.
Yes.
And it was because the crowd was chanting, "We want Ollie."
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it seems like maybe he's just not ready to play. He's
Yeah,
not getting in a blowout against North Florida.
And he redshirted his whole freshman year at 7'9". Yeah, I don't think he's good.
So we're not going to see him going up against Kentucky is what you're saying.
Maybe not, but maybe he could be good. Like
George Murison could do nothing when he first got to the NBA. Like at 7'9", you have a shot.
So George Murison was what? Was he 7'5", 7'6", something like that?
I feel like they're all
7'7" almost, really? 7'6"
Like
least,
Sean Bradley, him, Manute Bol were all 7'6" or 7'7". Like
Right,
that
right.
was like the official. Can't be any taller than that in the NBA. That was where it ended.
When I covered the Wizards when I was in college, I've told you guys this. I covered all the home games as a stringer, getting sound from the locker rooms and stuff like that. Amazing experience for a young person. But George Murison used to come back and be like a guest of the Wizards and sit in the front row. Imagine being behind him. Maybe not the front row, but like the first section behind the basket. And he would be there as like an ambassador, and people would take pictures with him. And
oh, sure.
He was around. It was just weird because the guy can't find clothes that really fit. And weirdly, his clothes actually were too baggy. Like, it looked like they were falling off.
Oh, yeah, probably because, like, when you get a 5X, like, you're expecting a wider person.
Yeah.
But, like, he was a basketball player, so he's pretty fit.
Yeah, he's skinnier, kind of guy. And it always looked like he was like a human clothes hanger that was just 5'7" tall.
Anytime I see an NBA player, they look like, I know they're extremely fit, and they are, but they look so skinny to me because of how tall they are.
Yep.
Like, I remember I saw Dylan Gallinari at an autograph signing. I was like, you look like a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he looked so skinny, but he was so tall. Everything was legs.
Yep.
These guys, like, they're just built in weird ways.
Well, actually, Taco Fall was pretty big, too.
I've seen Taco Fall. I've been up close to him. He was large.
He was actually big. If anyone can say where Taco Fall is playing right now, he had a cup of coffee with the Celtics, right? If anyone gets that, I will buy them lunch, breakfast, and dinner.
In Puerto Rico.
Real Canoe.
He is playing in Poland.
Close. Rob, he's on the Nanjing Monkey Kings right now.
No, definitely China.
They're winning the title.
I think I knew that.
But he's 7.
What arena do they play in, Manny?
He's 7. He's
Beijing
probably
arena.
7'7", and he didn't make it. So maybe Olivier Ryu will not make it. But I want to see him. So
I mean, he's got a future in Thailand, apparently.
I was going to say he could be like a globetrotter or something like that.
Did you guys know,
absolutely.
Did you guys know a couple weeks ago, George Marathon was reunited with one Muggsy Bogues, and they took a picture on TikTok?
I did see
Get
that.
out of
Oh,
here.
my gosh. It is
way.
the
Put it
best
on
picture.
social.
Yeah, and I actually, one of my favorite shirts I have is a Manute Bol with
that
Muggsy
famous
Bogues picture. But yeah, wow, this is crazy. 5'3" and 7'7".
I think Muggsy said, "Hey, handsome, how's it going?" And George was like, "Ha ha ha ha, I'm big and tall."
Well, Mirsan was in that movie with Billy Crystal, wasn't he?
Yeah.
My Favorite Giant or something
George,
like
and
that?
remember the commercials with Tobias Harris? He's legit.
No,
funny.
you're thinking of...
that's Boban.
You're thinking of Boban.
Boban. Oh, darn
It
it.
was also in, what's it called?
Back to the top.
You're about 30 years too
Mirsan was
late.
in the movie?
Yeah. I
Is
think
it
George
Mirsan
Mirsan was
alive?
in
I
the
feel
movie.
bad now.
No, he was. He just took a photo with
I just
Muggsy
said he
Bogues.
took a photo with Muggsy
Then I
Bogues.
got Boban confused. Yeah, you're right.
Wrong
Boban
Eastern
alive as
Well,
well.
when you said that Muggsy Bogues photo, I'm like, well, I got thinking about the Manute Bol photo.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You're right.
So that's
No.
kind of cheating. So when I played the Globetrotters, they had a 7'7" guy too.
You played
Do you
the
remember who it was?
Globetrotters?
I am looking up now. I can't remember his name. He looked like Sean Bradley. His name, I think, is Paul Sturgis. His nickname was Tiny.
Of course.
Yeah, I played the Globetrotters at the Bridgeport Arena. I was on the All-Stars. no specific region that we were All-Stars. I was just on the All-Stars.
You were just the All-Stars.
Couldn't he give you a spot on the Washington Generals?
The Generals weren't in town that week. They were out of town.
out
Now,
losing
I totally,
You played a back-to-back?
and I've told this story
Management.
before. I was totally robbed of my stats because the damn ball had helium in it at the foul line. How was it going to go in? Thing went to the rafters. I'm like, come on, I'm a dead-eye free throw shooter. This is my specialty. You can't put helium in the ball.
You're messing with my percentages. You're messing with my percentages.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyways, they had a guy named Paul Sturgis who was 7'8". So you're right. He could at least be a globetrotter.
Yeah, he'll make a living. 888-710-4ISN.
And if that doesn't work out, Cirque du Soleil is hiring.
And the Nanjing Monkey Kings need a backup for Taco Fall.
They're going to be needing to replace him probably in a couple of years. 888-710-4ISN. Get a statue in China if you win enough championships like Steph Marbury.
We got to see this guy cover Wemby just once. Would that be so fun? Anyone into this? No.
Is he French?
It sounds like Wemby's
he's Canadian.
It sounds like Wemby would destroy him.
Yeah.
Dust him. Guy couldn't get in the game against North Florida until the students section started cheering his name.
The Ospreys.
We got a lot to do. Okay, meanwhile, thank you, Bogue. So much to get into, including a question about the college football coaches, the positions that are open that nobody is asking except for the Maggie and Perloff show. Do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this MLS game preview is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows that saving is always top of mind, especially this season. Shop early Black Friday deals like select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at $59.98 because it's basically Christmas, right? Lowe's, we help you save while supplies last. Selections vary by location. All right, Manny, what's going on this weekend in the MLS?
Well, the season hangs on the balance for multiple teams across Major League Soccer. 5 decisive Game 3s across the first round of the MLS Cup playoffs. Cincy against the Crew, San Diego against the Timbers, Minnesota United against the Sounders, my boys in blue, NYCFC against Charlotte, and lastly, speaking of Rick Ross, The 3 seed in the East, Inter Miami, they host the 6 seed Nashville SC on Saturday. The winner of this game moves on to take on the winner of the aforementioned FC Cincinnati game against the Columbus Crew, again, also in the Game 3. Inter Miami star Lionel Messi with a brace in Game 1. He had their lone goal in their Game 2 loss. Will it be curtains for Inter Miami and Messi, or will he be able to continue the career of his longtime teammate at Barcelona in Sergio Busquets? Inter Miami battles Nashville in a winner-go-home Game 3. Kickoff from Miami, 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday.
Fantastic job, Manny. So we were talking about Rick Ross because he gave a shout-out to pears, the fruit.
Shout out to all the pear.
Just the pear. Poll questions up here. What's better, pears or apples? I mean, Pearl, you're just going to be alone on this one. You and Rick Ross love pears. The rest of America hates them.
What is it at?
74% prefer apples to pears. And then I was wrong about this. I was more of a blueberries person. Apparently, the world a little more strawberries. I was shocked that I'm losing this one. 68% love strawberries, over 32% love blueberries. And then maybe the most lopsided poll of the morning. Do you consider the Broncos a true Super Bowl contender? That would be 88% say no. The Broncos now the smush grapes of the fruit world.
Hey, but you can make wine out of smush grapes. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see.
Delicious vino.
Because, they're 8-2 now, so you would think a delicious Barolo, Manny, but it feels more like Franzia. No disrespect to the wine in a box.
I don't know what the first one was, but it sounds amazing.
The fancy Italian stuff.
Oh, yeah. Franzia, I've heard of that.
Yeah, well, Franzia will get the job done, but the Barolo has to be savored. And last night was nothing to be savored for the Broncos. I mean, to extend this metaphor and kill it. It was just a really, really ugly game. But I have a question for you, and we'll get back into what it means for the Broncos in just a moment. Some of these college football openings, right? The big ones. We're talking about Penn State. We're talking about Florida. We're talking about Auburn, Arkansas, UCLA. I think I pretty much got all the big ones there, right? Yeah. Of all of those, we've talked about what the best job is a lot. Where would Lane Kiffin want to go if he leaves Ole Miss? Would Urban Meyer have come back, or Nick Saban come back for any of these jobs? We've talked about what the best ones are. Pro, what's the worst one? Of these big-time job openings, which is one that where a coach might actually say, you know what? I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I mean, the one that jumps out to me is there seems to be something a little bit cursed about Auburn. I don't know why. Even if you win a title there, you're out in like 2 years. I feel like they are having trouble right now getting out of the shadow of the other SEC powers. I would have said that about Ole Miss in the past. For some reason, there seems to be less excitement about that Auburn job than any of the other ones. And maybe it's because they haven't been well coached. I don't know why they're not a sleeping giant, but there feels like sleeping giant potential everywhere. For some reason, I don't see Auburn getting out of the shadow of Georgia and Alabama, the school that ironically is placed almost midpoint between. Yeah. So that would be the one that I'd be nervous about. I think Arkansas is considered by some the worst job, but Arkansas, to me, has like a little sleeping giant potential. I'm not seeing that with Auburn. What do you got?
So I was thinking about Auburn does feel a little snake bitten, and you're right, but I actually think UCLA might be the worst.
Oh, were we counting UCLA?
Well, it's a big-time program in a Power 4. I mean, you're in L.A., so you're in quarterback heaven. All the QBs are around Southern California generally, but it just doesn't seem to me that UCLA, they just have no money, and now you're in the Big Ten, and it's going to, not that the Big Ten is any great shakes this year, but it just feels like even with Nico Iamaleava, and they have that one big, the upset over Penn State, and it's not been embarrassing this year, even though they already fired their head coach. I just don't know if I would take that job. I feel like you're hired to be fired in that job.
Oh, totally. Do you think that they're going to keep the current coach and his protege with blonde hair?
Jerry Neuheisel?
Yeah. What's the coach? That's
Skinner.
So funny. Skinner, yeah, who gets no attention. Because at least they've been competitive now. So maybe they just stick to this because they have no interest in being an elite football program. I really don't think so. When Jim Moore was there, he came on DP show. He's like, they just won't spend on anything.
Man, 888-710-4ISN. Of all the big openings in college football, what's the worst one? Maggie and Perloff show. Also, what's the number one seed in a tournament of fruit? It ain't pears. 888-710-4ISN. 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 888-7
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
3rd down and 7. Raiders 4 of 8 on 3rd down. 2:31 to go. Can the Bronco defense get off the field here? Shotgun snap. Geno Smith faces 5-man pressure. Geno Smith will be sacked back at the 32-yard line. It is a sack fest, and that is big Zach Allen with Nick Bonito there as well.
Thank you to Broncos Radio. It'd be a half dozen sacks on Geno Smith through the night, but they only lose the game 10-7, Pearl. This one was ugly. The weather and the windy conditions did not make it any better, but neither team on offense could get anything going. It felt like every drive started inside the other team's 10-yard line. Teams could barely get over half midfield. I mean, that's how really gross this thing was. But from a defensive side, super impressive. The Broncos obviously have a defense good enough to win a Super Bowl, and the Raiders really rose to the occasion last night.
Yeah,
defensively.
Again, actually, even when they did get over midfield, they seemed to go backwards and get out of field goal range. Obviously, field goals, not being able to kick last night in the win was a problem for both teams. Man, the Broncos, the funny thing, they know how to win ugly. But I don't think they want to win ugly, Maggie. This is not Sean Payton. Sean Payton ran the best offense in the league for the most part for 10 years. What is happening now is hard to describe, but they get the W's. I still not totally impressed. In fact, I was particularly not impressed last night. I'm going to chalk it up to Thursday night, short week, weirdness, windy night. We'll see. The real test is next week for the Broncos against KC.
No doubt. I mean, this did not make you want to put down any kind of bet on Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. And for Sean Payton, obviously was never experienced a game like this because we haven't had one since 1950, a time when both teams had more penalties than first downs.
Is that bad?
That is not what you want. And if you're the offensive guru for Sean Payton, you're right. How do you explain for a lot of these games kind of sleepwalking through 3 quarters and then relying on some major heroics in the 4th quarter? And last night, we didn't even get any of that. It was the Broncos basically trying to run the clock out on the Raiders. And even when the Raiders caught a break, which was the Broncos missing a field goal and getting the ball back in good field position, Geno threw a pick right on the first play. And it wasn't even his fault. That one got deflected. It was just a comedy of errors last night. There was a block punt. I mean, everything about last night was just bad. But it does not give you a lot of hope that this Broncos offense could really keep up with some of the best in the AFC.
No, I mean, listen, they are amazing in the crunch time. What they did to the Giants, who are not a good team, but just the poise that Bo Nix seems to have when he needs a play, how do you make the rest of the game like that? That's my question.
Right.
How do you make him... Some quarterbacks are better in a sort of a 2-minute drill. How do you make that offense run like that where maybe he's overthinking himself? There was a play where he was under pressure and he pump faked and he didn't really quite know what to do. Then Sean Payton and him got into it on the sideline right afterwards. So I just think that there's like a mental block with Bo Nix right now. He's a better quarterback than we saw last night. So there's a chance they improve. But if they play this kind of offense, I don't care how great the defense is, they're not coming out of the AFC. That's not a possibility.
888-710-4ISN. The poll results speak for themselves right now. Over 80% of you saying no, the Denver Broncos are not a legit Super Bowl contender. And after watching them last night, I can understand why you think that. But listen, Kansas City's had a stranglehold on the AFC West for the last 9 years. And if the Broncos could even win the division, maybe even not the Super Bowl, I know that's the expectation because their defense is so good. But it's something. It's something. I sound like that's a consolation prize. We're giving out participation trophies.
I mean, they're 8-2. They don't really need us to tell them that they're good. They do have the best record in the NFL.
Let's get to the NFL in 60. Every game on Sunday in 60 seconds or less. All right, EJ. You're going to tee us up with these games. We'll tell you what's the most important thing you should be looking at before they kick off.
All right, so let's begin in Berlin, where the Falcons will be taking on the Colts with their newly minted cornerback, Sauce Gardner.
Okay, my big thing here is the Colts come in with the number 1 passing offense, and Atlanta comes in with the number 1 ranked passing defense. Guten Tag, Berlin. But just to give you a little sense, the number 1 scoring offense has beaten the number 1 pass defense in 10 of the last 11 matchups when 2 such teams have actually gone head-to-head. So with that, I will be picking the Indianapolis Colts in this one.
Must take you all night to crunch those numbers.
Thank you, NFL.com.
Okay, here's my key. The Colts, number 1 passing offense, lead the league in explosive plays by far. But these international games, they never have explosive plays. There's always something weird going on. And I did look at the stadium in Berlin. It's Stitch Hybrid Bluegrass. Usually on grass. But I want to know, Manny, you are our stadium expert. Can you tell me the name of the stadium in Berlin in German?
In German?
Yes.
No, I don't speak German.
Do you know at least the name of the stadium?
Is it Olympiastadion?
Oh, you got it in German.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, Olympiastadion. Yeah.
Did you look it up just
No,
now?
I think they played the 2006 World Cup final there. That's why.
You are a savant.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You know who's not a savant? Brian Daboll, who, according to our good friend Sean Marash down the hall, was almost fired earlier in the season after the Giants collapsed to the Broncos. They traveled to Chicago this week to take on the Bears.
Well, they're coming off a very high emotion win. Ben Johnson was in the locker room after they beat the Bengals, just talking a lot of trash. I really worry about a letdown here because you actually look at the Bears, Maggie. They're not a great team. Their defense has obviously folded badly against Joe Flacco and the Bengals. Yep. And Caleb Williams, I'd say, is a B- so far. The run game's been better, but this is a massive possibility for a letdown.
Well, Chicago's now winning these nail-biter games that they lost all of last year. Now they're winning them, especially the last 2 weeks. And you're right, they haven't been good on offense, some trick plays and stuff. But the defense has forced 19 turnovers. For the Giants, they've just cratered since they upset the Eagles a couple weeks ago. Now they're giving up at least 33 points and 140 yards on the ground in each of these last games. By the way, could be snow in this game as well.
I'm a fat moron.
Okay, let's go to Miami, where Tua Tagovailoa says he is not playing for his job, he feels like. Good for him, because he's got the Buffalo Bills coming to town. Bills take on the Dolphins in the AFC division rivalry.
Well, listen. The last time these two teams played, it was a little tighter than everyone would have hoped. But obviously, things have gone in different directions for both of these teams. And if you're Miami, do you get a new GM bump, like a new coach bump? They fired the GM. They traded away guys. If the Bills can't take care of this one easily, Pearl, then I think you start to worry just a little bit. James Cook on the injury report, but to be honest, they probably shouldn't even need James Cook to win this game.
Josh Allen, 14-2 against Miami. Mike McDaniel, 1-7 versus Buffalo. James Cook, I think they need to play him like it's too late now, but he could be like an MVP candidate himself. His yards per game are stunning. He's amazing. I feel like he's going to go off in this one.
It's 8 versus 9 in Minnesota. Lamar Jackson, number 8, versus alter ego of J.J. McCarthy, 9. The Ravens take on the Vikings.
Okay, I saw a stat. Lamar Jackson facing Brian Flores, the Vikings defensive coordinator. Do you guys remember when, I'm sure Flores was in Miami, Lamar had the game of his life against Brian Flores. He's had 5 touchdowns, 0 picks. They won. They scored in the 50s. Then apparently Flores got him the next time in Minnesota. I must have actually, maybe it was still in Miami, and totally shut down Lamar Jackson. So to me, if you're looking at like the X's and O's, how does the blitz-heavy Brian Flores deal with Lamar Jackson? Nothing against J.J. McCarthy. I think the Minnesota defense against the Baltimore offense is what we really have to watch in this game.
You know, not to do must-win in a Week 10, but kind of for both teams. Clearly Baltimore, because they dug themselves in this big hole, but Minnesota's now 4-4. I mean, I don't know.
Well, but much more must-win for Baltimore. Because Baltimore, if they win, they could get to the Super Bowl. Minnesota, they could sneak into the playoffs.
Meanwhile,
different expectations, right?
Yeah, but even for Minnesota to just be keeping pace now, like in the NFC, for Baltimore, since week 6, allowed only 13 points per game after they gave up 35 points per game in weeks 1 through 5. So defense is coming along.
A combined 3 wins in this one. The Browns travel to MetLife Stadium to take on my New York Jets, coming off their first win of the season and a bye week.
Do we have to watch this one? Sorry.
No.
I'm contractually obligated as a Jets fan, unfortunately.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough,
no,
EJ.
It will be.
Yeah, I mean, I would pick the Browns here, but I don't know if I'd feel good about it. You know, this could be a nice spot for Dylan Gabriel. No Sauce Gardner, obviously. He's gone to the Indianapolis Colts, and no Quinnen Williams. So you think you'd be able to get the run game going a little bit and to help Dylan Gabriel, Pearl, in the pass game. I don't see why the Cleveland Browns shouldn't win this game.
I mean, honestly, it's more important for draft position. I really don't care what happens here, but EJ gave me a fun warning yesterday. If Fields plays, like, watch out for Justin Fields all of a sudden get hot and ruin the Jets draft pick because they are the Jets.
He has done this several times in his career. The last 4 weeks of the season, plays well.
No, Myles Garrett's going to eat him.
Smells like a 7-3 contest.
Justin Fields doesn't do well against normal defenses. Like, you have no idea how he's going to react to Myles Garrett.
Very fair.
Myles Garrett could have 8 sacks in this game. Go ahead.
We're calling this the Tom Brady Bowl. The Patriots traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. 2 MVP candidates here with Baker Mayfield and Drake May. Who would have thought?
I know. How funny is that? The Baker Mayfield was definitely the MVP for like 5 weeks now.
Yeah.
Drake May, because Drake May's had 200 passing yards and a passer rating over 100 in 8 games this year. To me, this is like a big test for the Patriots. Are you actually, their best win of the season is obviously going to Buffalo and beating the Bills. But can you beat another playoff team? They've been feasting off of these bottom feeders. And so I'm curious, especially with the Bucs coming off of a bye, how does this look for the Patriots? If they lose by a touchdown or more, I think you start to wonder if they're frauds.
Well, I'm actually curious on the Bucs side. Like, are the Bucs a good team based on how healthy are they? And it doesn't feel like we haven't seen the Bucs play in about a month. They're coming off a bye, and a lot of guys are coming back. My fantasy starting running back, Bucky Irving, is not coming back, most likely.
Oh, no.
So I think it's hard to judge the Bucs because you have no idea who's going to line up a wide receiver every week. I think that'll determine this game, like how healthy are they. Because I think Tampa Bay is probably a better team than New England. I don't know if that's a hot take. I think New England's feasting off this bad schedule. I think we forgot about Tampa Bay, but they could be back on our consciousness.
Feel the fever. The fighting Rico Dowdles are back in action. They're hosting the Saints at home this weekend.
You mean my Panthers? Are we talking about my Panthers?
No.
If they win the Super Bowl, my friend Andy Dalton has a Super Bowl ring. That's all I know. Rico Dowdle, over the last 5 games, averaging 130 yards per game. He could easily, he's third in rushing now, could easily win the rushing crown. If he had a quad injury, so he was sitting in and out of practice, they could ride this guy like the Eagles rode Saquon to the playoffs.
I just would love to see Perloff's face if somehow the Panthers beat the Eagles in the playoffs. Like, it would be unreal. I don't know if he'd be so happy for Andy Dalton then.
By the way, my friend Case Keenum on the Bears, too, could beat him. And Case is getting a lot of camera time because he's become a mentor to Caleb Williams. But that's besides the point.
Panthers won 4 of their last 5. This should be pretty easy for them against a Saints team that had traded away Shaheed and is obviously playing Tyler Shuck now. Like, this is going to be tough.
You think things are going to be easy for the Panthers? You have no idea what Carolina Panthers team is going to
They just went to the Lambeau.
Did you see them against? I know it was Andy was playing and he played terribly against Buffalo. Did you see that game? You have no idea. Yeah, I know they just won at Lambeau. You think that means anything for either team? It's the NFL, baby.
Let's go to
McCringleberry.
Let's go to Houston, where C.J. Stroud will be out this week for the Texans. They are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think this could be an upset. It's now just a 1.5-point spread Jacksonville's way, but think about this. I know they have the backup quarterback, but Houston's defense has been getting better and better and better. And Trevor Lawrence, even though, Jacksonville has a good record, Pearl, Trevor Lawrence is not playing well. He's not.
Yeah, but somebody can catch a football there.
Well, and they also traded for Jacoby Myers, but is he going to have his impact felt immediately? And Brian Thomas showed up, obviously, on the injury report. I don't know if he's going to be playing. So
I love the GM, James Madison, who looks like ESPN's Kevin Clark, said that Jacoby Myers' superpower is he doesn't drop every pass. I mean, come on. The Jags have let Trevor Lawrence down like the Raiders let down Geno Smith last night. Trevor's better than his numbers.
Seahawks are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They're facing the Cardinals. We're coming off a big win on Monday Night Football. You got Cards and Seahawks in Seattle this weekend.
Well, listen, if I'm Seahawks, I'm thrilled that the Cards are on a short week coming off a win because this would be a very dangerous game for Seattle. Arizona's defense is real. Seattle is the it team at the moment. I mean, everybody's loving Sam Darnold. The numbers are crazy. They get great trade. We were talking about earlier this week for Rashid Shaheed. Cardinals are dangerous. They're always in it to the last minute.
Yeah, what's the spread on this game?
I see
Seahawks
here
minus
6.5 to Seattle. Yep.
Yeah, begging you to take the points there. But listen, we just mentioned Shaheed is gone from the Saints. Now he's with Seattle. If they work him into the game plan and he's at all effective, then what more can JSN do? This could be a really fun offensive game for the Seahawks, who just came across from flying cross country and just manhandling the Commanders. But Arizona's defense is much better than that.
Yeah, see, the Seahawks need to run the ball. So it's not on Darnold. The total's only at 44.5. This is not going to be an easy game. You're not going to see Sam Darnold throw 5 touchdowns.
Another crucial game in the NFC West. You got the Rams traveling to Santa Clara to face the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really hard here for San Francisco. Like, they have patched together this defense, Pearl, in a way that is admirable, certainly. But against a team like the Rams, the way that they're playing right now with, is Puka looks fine, right? Like, he's off the injury report this week, I believe. I'll double check that. And obviously, Adams, like, I think this is going to be, it's never easy between these two teams. Shanahan and McVay have been one of the best coaching battles and chess matches that we have. But I just don't see how the 49ers defense holds with a healthy Rams offense.
I mean, they beat him, I believe they didn't have Bosa and Warner last time. The funny thing, I'm watching the Niners quarterback competition. I mean, Mac Jones was awesome against the Rams last time. But then I read a headline, Brock Purdy, who may play, gives him a better chance because he can scramble away from Jared Verse. I'm Team Mac Jones. I don't know how I got there, but I am Team Mac Jones. If they put in, if Purdy does play at some point and doesn't look good, then I'm going to just call it right now, quarterback controversy.
Just like Montana and Young. Okay, let's go
Just
to
like.
an NFC divisional playoff rematch here. Lions have a chance to get some revenge on those Commanders who will be without Jaden Daniels after the dislocated elbow last Sunday night.
Oh, my God. The Lions are going to go off here. We are going to see, it's going to look like Ben Johnson is back, even though the offense is still good. The Commanders have been, forget the quarterback injury. Their defense is non-competitive, Maggie. This doesn't seem like a huge game for the Lions offense.
Yeah, and they're coming off of a bad loss. I mean, you lose at home to J.J. McCarthy and Minnesota Vikings. Like, the Lions should be feeling a little bit of like, all right, we got to get this thing right. Their offense looked so bad last week.
They couldn't protect Jared Goff, but the Commanders haven't shown any spirit on defense.
No, this should be a get-right game for the Lions.
And finally, Aaron Rodgers gets to check in on the Malibu house when the Steelers travel to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers.
So for this one, I'm really curious. Yeah, everyone knows he doesn't get service at the Malibu house. Duh, guys. The other part, though, is what's going on with that Steelers defense? Because last week, obviously, they baited, Daniel Jones into 5 different turnovers, 3 interceptions. But Pearl, like, you have both tackles now missing for the Chargers. Can this Steelers defense actually put together another great performance and they could harass Justin Herbert, who's already thrown, 8 picks on the season?
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh as a whole team goes as TJ Watt goes. We know when he's out, they're not as good. And when he finally was back yesterday, and then you get Highsmith and Watt together, I still don't know. I don't trust it. I think the Steelers are the most unpredictable team in the NFL. Last year, remember, they started out 8-2. Then they lost to teams they shouldn't have. And then they play well against a really good team. By the way, speaking of the Malibu house, we didn't talk about it. Did you see the highlight where Aaron Rodgers was continually trying to sell his house to the different Packers players? Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers has some real estate issues because he still has his house in Green Bay and he's trying to sell it to Micah Parsons and everybody.
Yeah, that was a story that came out during the game as the Steelers are playing the Packers. What was that, last Sunday night?
Yeah.
No, it would have been, was it Sunday or Monday?
2 weeks ago.
No, wait, that was Thursday. Thursday?
No, it was a Sunday night game.
It was a Sunday night game.
It was a Tuesday, guys.
Sunday night game 2 weeks ago.
They play football every day of the week anyway. While Aaron Rodgers is on the field in a break of the action, he's trying to tell Micah Parsons and other Packers, hey, do you want to buy my house? Which I kind of get because I'm assuming his house is gigantic.
I see this house.
It's got to be million. How many, especially in this economy, how many people can afford that kind of house?
It's modest.
No.
I've seen his Green Bay house. I don't think it's so huge.
I thought it's like a compound.
Is it? Okay.
He was there for 18 years. You think you might, get comfortable.
Maybe. Okay, maybe it is cool. We got to find, I love seeing good real estate.
Apparently, Micah Parsons said, he's like, I just got here. I don't need something that big.
Yeah, nothing quite like house hunting in Swamico, Wisconsin. Fun times.
I'm just saying, how many people anywhere can afford houses like this, but especially now?
Well, I don't know.
I've seen multiple houses. Hobart, Wisconsin, Swamico. And then he's got Del Mar, California, Malibu, California, Chico, of course. Oh. And I think he bought his house in New Jersey when he was with the Jets. Do we know if he sold that yet? Do you want to buy it?
He lives in Montclair, New Jersey. He lived in Montclair, New Jersey.
And did he sell the house?
I don't know.
He's like a real estate mogul.
Maggie.
I'll get right on that, Manny.
Oh, yeah. Montclair.
18 bedrooms,
I imagine
7
that'll
bathrooms.
cost you a pretty penny to live in that town.
Yeah. It's actually a part of New Jersey that you can see New York, but it's far away.
How do you clean 18 rooms?
with a team. A squad.
Well,
of
yeah,
people.
but he doesn't live in any of the rooms. I assume 14 of them left are untouched. Maybe AJ Hawk crashes in one of them.
One's a meditation room, the other's an ayahuasca room.
Yeah.
You gotta hang upside down in another one.
Yeah, you know how many cobwebs there probably are in some of those rooms?
You gotta go your cryo chamber.
Gotta have one be a sauna. Sauna. Sorry, my New York accent kind of.
Yeah, what'd you say, sauna?
Sauna.
Sheesh. 888-710.
I apologize.
4ISN.
Sauna.
Let's get to Nick Costas at the top of the hour, next hour, so we can try to win some money here with Nick Costas, the host of You Better You Bet. We also are going to do something fun in just a moment. We are going to give you our midseason MVPs, but we're going to do it in a fun way. Who has earned these midseason awards, Pearl, but then who will actually walk away with the hardware? Because these are two very different answers in our opinion. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
All right, Maggie, sometimes you just take a stab and you end up being right. I just knew last night that John Collins was going to go under 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And you know what that means? I'm a winner on Prize Picks. It's the best time of year for Prize Picks. You still got football going on, college football, pro football, NBA, hockey, you can go soccer. Sometimes there's gaming. Prize Picks is so simple. Basically, you just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you could win big. Right now, if you sign up, you can get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's awesome, and I got to be honest, I'm feeling really good about this weekend.
Okay, how about tonight? Can I interest you in Jaylen Brown, who's been so maligned because he's got that spray-on hair that's now been getting on opponents' jerseys and embarrassing him? Well, I think he's got to show off on the court, Pearl.
Those hair follicles.
To keep from being a full-on punchline. So give me Jaylen Brown more than 26.5 points against the Magic tonight, and I'm going to put it together with a little college football. Do you know USC is playing tonight?
Yes,
Jordan
I did.
Mayava, they're playing against the Northwestern Wildcats, so I'll go more than 264.5 passing yards. This is just the kind of fun that we have on Prize Picks. Play along with us. It's so easy. Just download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code MNP. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks. You get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. So win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
We get it almost every night. And when that moon gets a big and bright.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff show. Maggie's out here. We did a read at the end of the last segment, and Maggie forgot it was 4 minute break. Oh, here comes our girl. Anyway, that's probably for the best because let's face it, does anyone out there want to recount the ugly scene we saw last night in Denver? We just broke down the Raiders-Broncos while you weren't here, and it stunk.
I'm sorry. I can't take it when you try to go get coffee anywhere in your office, and I'm not trying to call out the people here who do the coffee, but it's a disaster over there.
Well, you should do the coffee then. You cannot call them out. Did you make the coffee?
How am I supposed to make the coffee? It's these gigantic things. It's cold. It's disgusting, so I had to make myself tea, which is why I'm late.
Well, Bogues and I talk about that pretty much every morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Bogues, I think you got to make a new pot of coffee.
I'll happily
Do you make it?
Well, sometimes when I get here in the morning, I do, yeah.
Did you make it today?
I did not today. It was already made when I got here.
Oh, my gosh. A debacle.
But that was 3
over there.
hours ago. So it wouldn't even have been my fault if I did it back then. You need to keep firing it back up.
Also, guys, can I you guys can't cover for me for 30 seconds while I got tea? No?
I played the song for much longer than I should have.
Yeah.
We were just making fun of it because
divorce reasons too.
The live read cuts a minute out of the break, and I always miss it.
Oh,
always.
right. That's what happened.
Yeah. So what usually happens is let people know how the sausage is made. When we do a live read at the end of the first segment, it's a shorter break. And most of the time, I say 75% of the time, we were just chit-chatting about 28 seconds into the show, and Manny's like signaling us. But
yeah, hey guys, we're back on the air.
Yeah,
in about
usually
5
we're
seconds.
just like,
Please put on your headphones.
this weekend, I got to go drive my daughter here in the traffic. And this is 30 seconds into the show. But no, we chit-chatted for 2 seconds. We were talking about you.
Yeah, about me not being here, my giant feet. Okay,
yeah,
good.
we got the whole Maggie Gray experience.
Fantastic.
But you calling out people for not making coffee, that's weak, dude, because you are not making coffee yourself.
Dude, it's like a gigantic industrial-sized thing.
It's way
What
too
am I
complicated.
supposed to do? I don't even know where they keep the coffee grounds around here.
Oh, that's right in the closet.
It's right next to the machine.
You guys are all making coffee? Get out of here.
I make it almost every morning. Manny can confirm that.
I thought Matt makes it.
I learned
Matt's
how to
not here until
I thought he
at 5 in the
presets
morning.
it.
Presets it.
No, what are you talking
Wait, you guys, you've never
Civilians
heard
make the coffee. There's nobody here to make the coffee for us.
You guys have never heard of a coffee machine having a function where you can set the timer for when it goes off.
we're familiar.
Yeah, but these are, for people that don't know, these are the actual Dunkin' Donuts coffee machines that they have in the restaurant. We have 2 of them here.
That doesn't mean you can't preset them?
I don't think, but even if you preset it to make it at 5 o'clock, it would be dead now anyway. It gets made by people all day long.
It's a 24-hour newsroom. There are people in there
Right.
all night and all day. You can't preset it for what? People are getting coffee at 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
I'm just saying, you shouldn't have to be Einstein to figure out that machine. That machine is way too complicated.
So I completely disagree.
I learned
because
from Bogusch.
it does almost everything for you. The only choice you have to make is how much grinds you are making.
Okay.
And then when you put it in, it just goes. It's not hard at all.
I've tried to do this like 10 times,
How
and
about
I've
this?
given up every time.
Poll question: if you work in an office that has
boy.
more than say 40 people in it, 50 people, right? Do you make the coffee?
So
I'm not talking about when you work with 6 people and everyone just has like the Mr. Coffee.
yeah.
Do you make the coffee at your office? All right, Bogues.
Wait,
what else
by the
you
way,
got?
I do something even worse. When somebody like Bogues is making the coffee, they sit there and they're making it and they're waiting for it, and I just barge right in front of them. Like they've waited and they're about to get it. I just walk right in front of them and get the first cup.
Typical.
They get so mad at that. I don't know. I didn't know that they made
They were
it.
just hanging out there waiting.
Yeah, they're just sitting waiting, trying to get back to their desk, trying to get there, and I just go do and just push them out of the way. And
How
get
about
the
those
coffee.
Eagles?
No, I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know what everybody in the coffee room, what their team is, so I just do the sports small talk. But I say, I got to get back on air, so do you mind if I go ahead of you? It's legit. But I don't complain like you.
He does it to Maggie.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's do headlines.
I'm professional.
So I can
It
drink my
was
tea.
An old school Thursday night slop fest. Broncos and Raiders in Denver. 17 combined points. 22 combined accepted penalties. Al Michaels is too old for this. The Broncos credited with the win, 10-7. Will Lutz's 32-yard field goal in the final seconds of the third quarter ended up being the difference. Sean Payton's team has won 7 straight, is 8-2 overall, but...
Sean, again, as you've said, your record says who you are.
Exactly right.
But,
No, but. Are you going to say but? No. What's your question?
Are you comfortable with the script of just kind of how these games
We're never
continue to be
comfortable
won?
as coaches, but there's no buts. So you're asking, am I comfortable as a coach? We're never satisfied.
We did eventually get a deeper explanation here.
You search for that Shangri-La. Right now, we're a team sitting at 8 wins. I think we're the only team sitting there.
He's right. His team is the first with 8 wins this season.
What a wordsmith.
It just also just taking this stuff out on the media is just so lame to me. Also in the chat, P. Maddie says Maggie's a star. Stars don't make the coffee. So
I love
Facts.
it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The Raiders, meanwhile, now on 7 losses. Vegas didn't score after the first quarter. They didn't reach 200 yards of offense, and Geno Smith was sacked 6 times. He finished the game limping with a bruised quad.
Mentally, I just try to block out the pain and just focus on executing the plays. It's obviously in a lot of pain, but I think just with the guys out there and just being out there, having the adrenaline going, and obviously just wanting to win more than anything. The pain is the pain. It's going to be there regardless, but I want to win this game.
How about this? Geno Smith is 35. If you're Kenny Pickett,
Yeah.
are you like, all right, I might as well just find a new career? Because Geno
Yeah.
Smith is 35 years old on one leg, and they kept putting Geno back into the game as his injuries getting worse and worse and worse. Meanwhile, you have Kenny Pickett sitting right there as the backup.
I mean, they could have won the game. I mean, Geno did come back off the bench after beginning the 10 and threw a 30-yard dime. The story of last night was not Geno. It was the guys dropping Geno's passes left and right. What's with that team around? I feel bad. Does anyone else feel bad for Geno Smith, by the way? This is not on him. He's not playing nearly as bad as. Oh my God, what's he gonna do? Run down the field and place it in the wide receiver's hand?
Last night, not much his problem, but this season he's played terribly. He's had a terrible season.
It's more than just him, though, EJ.
Sure, but I don't think that if you put a much better quarterback on that team, they're better.
No
He's
left
not playing.
tackle.
He's not playing.
No.
He's not playing well.
They lost 2 offensive linemen
Yeah.
during the game last night, too. That was tough.
They're not better.
He's thrown 12 picks.
You could put Tom Brady in his prime, could jump out of the owner's box. No way.
No team that bad is going to survive his turnovers. He's been a turnover machine.
That's what you get with Geno Smith. He's aggressive. I do not think this is on him at all.
But he also signed up for this.
Mm-hmm.
Fact.
He didn't just go, he didn't get there and they're like, oh, we're going to trade everyone off this roster. This is basically this is the team he knew he was getting.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's comfortable with Pete Carroll, so I understand the move. Do you think he should have?
I ain't right back, though.
I don't remember. Did Seattle even consider keeping Geno Smith? Was that in the pot? Did they make him an offer? Should he have stayed in Seattle?
No,
I don't think
they
that
were
was
done.
a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think they were done with him.
He, by the way, said the quad issue should not affect his availability moving forward. Wisconsin said the football coach Luke Fickell returns next season. They will do a full review of the program, and they say they'll spend a little more on that Badger roster. Part of the Suns' return for Kevin Durant was Jalen Green. He missed their first 8 games with a hamstring injury, finally debuting last night against the Clippers.
Allen, a 3 on the way, no good. Richards up high, can't grab it. Ryan Dunn saves it into Jalen Green for 3, and he hit another one in the left corner. 29 on the night. His first night in a Suns uniform, and he's feeling the love right now. Into the backcourt, looking into the crowd, who salutes Jalen Green.
Green stayed on 29 in what became a 115-102 win for Phoenix. The Clippers losing their 3rd in a row, playing last night without James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. And the San Diego Padres have a new manager. It is Craig Stammen, who was still pitching in the majors just 3 years ago. He was a special assistant to the front office in San Diego, so he was part of the crew interviewing guys for this job. And now he's the one that gets it.
Yeah, actually, I'll take it.
The former Nationals pitcher?
That's him.
Wow.
So this has been a wild hiring cycle for Major League Baseball. It's
Yeah.
kind of gone off under the radar a little bit because I think the World Series was so good and took up so much oxygen, and now we're just football all the time. But San Francisco hired a college coach.
Yeah.
The Washington Nationals hired a guy who's 33.
Correct.
And now, is it Craig Stammen or Stammen?
I always called him Stammen as a pitcher.
Whatever. 13 years in Major League Baseball as a reliever, and he was part of the search. And they hired him over Bruce Bochy and Albert Pujols, who also interviewed for this job, right?
Pujols definitely did. I remember Bochy because I just was reading how Bochy's all gung-ho to be in San Francisco again, working as a manager
special
consultant
assistant to
for this
the,
college coach guy.
Yeah, the traveling secretary.
But yeah, Pujols went all over the place, got none of these jobs. Didn't the Angels were like, nah, never mind.
They interviewed him for 9.5 hours. Can you imagine you sat in a 9.5-hour interview? You're Albert Pujols, and they were like, actually, we're going to go with the guy who's a relief pitcher for 15 teams.
Yeah, that would
Who
go
was
crazy.
just asking you questions in that 9-hour interview?
That would bruise my ego a little bit, but I guess I'm Albert Pujols in this scenario, so
He's a machine.
I think I'm probably amazing.
By the way, pitchers don't usually become managers, right? This is a bit unusual, too.
It feels like it's usually catchers, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't think of who it's or good pitchers don't usually become managers at least. Maybe it's journeyman. I wouldn't even know. And this guy was kind of he qualifies as a journeyman pitcher, right?
He's a reliever. Yeah, they always move around.
But even those guys, I can't remember a lot of guys who were
I'm trying to
pitchers
think.
off the top of my
Apparently,
head.
Walter Johnson became a manager back in the day. After his pitching
back in the
days.
day, we needed
Big
a bigger
train.
term for back in the day.
He led the Washington Senators to 390 win seasons.
Good heavens.
I think Bud Black was a pitcher, then a pitching coach, and then a manager. I'm trying to think who else is that might have
pitchers who are
pitched and managed.
Jeff Torborg. Remember, he managed
he
managed the
That's-
Expos.
Okay,
Was he the Mets manager?
but typically positional players become managers. That's why it's just sounds
Roger
weird.
Craig.
Where in football, it's always a backup quarterback, right? He always is the coach.
The great thing is, it's right in front of us.
Remember Larry Rothschild? He was a manager for a little bit. He was a pitcher.
Wow, this is an illustrious group.
Call Cooperstown.
Oh, Bud Black was a pitcher.
Yeah.
That's what.
Oh, sorry.
said that.
Like I'm not here. I was trying.
Yo,
I was
he's
trying to
busy.
find. Too busy trying to find the list. And John Farrell.
Oh, okay.
So not many.
I don't remember
but a
any of
few.
the. I mean, Bud Black was a decent pitcher, right? But or was he? I don't
remember his pitching.
I don't
He pitched
remember
a
any
long
of those
time,
guys
I
as
think.
pitchers, or this guy, by the way. Just
Oh, I remember this
different
guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, only 40 former big league pitchers have gone on to become managers as of 2017.
we have a lot to do. Bogusch, thank you, including we have some midseason awards, but we're going to do them in a different way. We'll tell you who has been the MVP, the Coach of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year up to this point, but who will win the award. And just a spoiler, these are not the same. Who has been awesome and who will end up going home with the hardware, very, very different. Perloff and I will get to that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
The big stuff.
Welcome back.
Who do you think you are?
All right, let's go behind the curtain a little bit. Perloff has had this song stuck in his head for the last day.
No, it's since last night. The NFL app where I rewatch the game in the morning. For some reason, when they started the Broncos-Raiders game, was on a commercial where this song was playing, and I kept having to restart my feed, and this song kept playing all day. And for some reason, I thought it was Mr. Good Stuff. Mr. Good Stuff. It's hard to hear Big Shot. Even there, I didn't understand.
It's not Big Shot. It's Big Stuff. Mr. Big Stuff. You thought it was Mr. Good Stuff?
Mr. Good Stuff.
You've been going around the office all morning singing it and singing it wrong.
What is that chocolate bar? Mr. Good Bar?
Yeah.
That was in my head, too. The yellow, what's that called? Is that still around?
I didn't see any. And we just had Halloween, and that's generally when you see that.
That's the only time
I think it's out of the rotation
Mr.
now.
Good Bar exists. So there was some kind of like 70s candy involved in this whole mix-up. But I don't know that song. Who's it by? Miss Expert on the song?
Well, it's funny also because when Manny played it, I think somehow you thought that was just by chance. I told him to play it. Gene Knight sings Mr. Big
No,
Stuff.
I knew this was.
The way you were...
There you
the way
go.
you reacted.
It was like a child. You just gave him like a king-size candy bar on Halloween.
All right, let's get to some midseason awards, Pearl. Okay, we're going to do a thing where we'll tell you who has won the award up to this point, but who will win the award by the end of the season. So do you want to go first with let's start with Defensive Player of the Year. How
Yeah,
about
okay.
that?
So we're doing halfway point, who's deserved it, and then who will win it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go a little, maybe this is cheating, but who's been the best defensive player of the year so far?
Brian Burns.
Brian Burns is my answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he leads the league in sacks at 11. That dude is a monster. And also, he is built like a superhero and plays like a superhero. I swear to God, I love watching the Giants just to see him abuse people trying to block him. Him and Myles Garrett are tied, basically. But Myles Garrett already won it. Brian Burns halfway. Now do I do my full time?
Yeah, so that's at the midway point, but who will win Defensive Player of the Year?
It's been 18 years, or 2006, the last time a guy on a losing team won Defensive Player of the Year. That was Jason Taylor on the Dolphins. So it's not happening. So Brian Burns out, Myles Garrett out, the two best defensive players in the NFL. You're coming down to Nick Bonito, Micah Parsons, and Aiden Hutchinson. And I'm going to Aiden Hutchinson because I think the Lions win that division. And then voters are going to have a tie basically between Aiden Hutchinson and Micah Parsons. And they're going to go with the better team. And Hutchinson obviously leads the league in pressures. He hasn't had a lot of sacks, but I think he'll pick up in the second half. And team record matters a lot for that award, Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, for my Defensive Player of the Year, the person I would give it to at the midway point is Myles Garrett. How he stands out even still with this dreadful Cleveland team who's got no quarterback and no prayer and no hope whatsoever. And Garrett is still so good. He is the midseason Defensive Player of the Year, but who will get the award? To me, you saw him last night, Pearl, Nick Bonito. I mean, just so good. 8 pressures last night. He had 1.5 sacks, 24 pass rushes. And I think they're going to want to give Denver something.
Sure.
Right? Bo Nix is not going to be an MVP. Spoiler, Sean Payton's not going to be Coach of the Year. But I think they're going to want to give Denver something to reflect how awesome their defense has been. I think Nick Bonito will win Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, let's go
By
to
the way, you know who
Coach.
the Vegas favorite was?
Who?
It's still Parsons.
Really?
Yeah, because he's actually been super awesome from an analytical standpoint. But sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Coach of the Year. Who has it been to this point, and who will it be at the end of the year? Why don't I go first on this one?
Yeah.
I think the Coach of the Year so far really is probably Kyle Shanahan, but I think most people would say Mike Vrabel. Vrabel, because we had no idea what we were going to get with the Patriots in year 2 of Drake May. And it started off a little shaky, and now because they've taken advantage of maybe an easy schedule, bit of a house on fire. But to go into Buffalo and to beat the Bills, I think put Mike Vrabel in the driver's seat for Coach of the Year. Now, I don't think he's going to win it because I think they're going to look at the schedule. People are going to say, well, I don't know, pretty easy here for the Patriots playing this kind of last place schedule. I think it will be Mike McDonald, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. They just shored up their offense, but their defense has been so good. He's on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to win enough games. They're in a very tough division. To me, Mike McDonald is going to win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, okay. I'll do my halfway point. I think this is an easy choice. I think it's Shane Steichen with the Indianapolis Colts. If you told me that they're going to have one of the top offenses in the NFL with Daniel Jones at quarterback, I would not have believed you. But this is pure Shane Steichen magic. Great play caller. Seems like also a good people person as a coach, which I think was the question about him coming from Indianapolis. He seemed like kind of a nerd who could call plays but wasn't a head coach material. He is head coach material. My season-ending one, also Shane Steichen. I think Steichen keeps it going here. Now that they have Sauce Gardner, they're going to get enough wins. And the formula for this kind of thing is a guy who comes out of nowhere has a great chance. Now, Vrabel, for example, has he already won a coach? Yeah, sorry. Vrabel, Sean Payton, Kyle Shanahan. These guys have all been recognized. They like the new guy. So I think Shane Steichen comes away with the award.
Right. And finally, MVP. Who has it been at this point of the year and who ultimately will win it? Go ahead.
Okay. MVP is so funny this year because maybe it's just fandom here, but I would love to see Sam Darnold win the MVP. And his candidacy is legit. If you ever dig in the numbers like DVOA, which is an analytics stat, he's number one in the league. And there's no question about it. He is playing awesome. And the thing that he's doing is not just running Clint Kubiak's offense. He's incredible out of the pocket. Like, he is running. The guy can throw on the run accurately with the best of them. Now, do I think it's going to keep up? No, I think he dips in stats just a little bit. So if you're going to look for MVP, you're going to go to the traditional ones. I feel like it could end up being a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes battle. Because Mahomes, once again, has really good stats this year. I think the Chiefs get hot in the second half, and the momentum will force voters to recognize him.
Okay, my MVP to this point of the season has got to be Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you're giving Shane Steichen Coach of the Year, and everyone loves Daniel Jones, but who's really doing the work on that offense?
Maybe the line, but I see what you're saying.
For the Colts, yeah, they're not going to give it to
Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, to Quentin Nelson, although maybe he deserves it. But they're good. Jonathan Taylor right now is the MVP of the league, even though he just had a bad outing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't let that cloud you. He's been excellent, but he's not going to win the award, because running backs don't win this award anymore. Who will win the award for MVP is going to be Matthew Stafford. I think it's going to be Stafford, Pearl, because I don't think that Sam Darnold's going to keep it up. Patrick Mahomes, I think, is great, but he's a great candidate every year, and I don't think they like to give it to him. I think Stafford, he's awesome on offense. He's having this unreal year, even though he had to start off the season with an epidural. And I think there's also the one thing that's kind of missing from his resume. Matthew Stafford has never been an MVP, yet he has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league for quite some time. And I almost think that it's not a lifetime achievement award, but kinda. And in a time when I don't think there's an obvious MVP for a quarterback, I can see Matthew Stafford getting this award. We think he's a Hall of Famer. He is a Pro Bowler. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's comeback player of the year, all that. He does not have an MVP. And I think it becomes a bit of a narrative award. He's going to have the stats, and I think ultimately he gets it.
Okay. Not to pick you apart on this one, but who have the Rams beaten, really? Like, who have they played? They've been sort of kind of caught in these meaningless 4 o'clock games. Their last 3 wins, Baltimore with Cooper Rush, Jacksonville, who I don't think is a great team, and then last week, New Orleans. And
they beat Indy.
Yeah, they did beat Indy. But Indy, I don't even know who they are in that time, and that was in L.A. I just think the Rams have been off the radar. Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, we haven't really seen the Rams in a big game. I think this weekend against San Francisco is a bit of a test. But I just don't know why Stafford is not raised to the level of attention that I think you need for an MVP. Okay. Maybe the second half will be different.
Can I tell you a couple high-profile games he's going to have? So obviously San Francisco this week, and then Seattle the next week. Then Tampa, and that's a Sunday night game. Yeah. And then Carolina, Arizona.
Rico Dowdle MVP race.
Right. Then you get Detroit, which is always big for Stafford because it's, where he used to play. And then they do get 2 more primetime games. They get a Thursday night against Seattle, and they get a Monday night game against the Falcons.
That will tell the story. That you're right, that they sort of backloaded this schedule. So we'll see. I just don't know if they're that interested in the regular season by then. They might be gearing up for the playoffs.
Going to get a lot of Matthew Stafford on your television over the last half of the season. And I think he'll be your MVP. Coming up next, Nick Costos, so You Better You Bet, will join us. Don't move.
The big stuff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Empty set, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Nix drops back, throws the ball to the end zone. The pass is caught, and that is a Denver touchdown. Troy Franklin with the catch at the goal line, and he had Eric Stokes on his back. Stokes made the tackle, but Franklin had the ball and a touchdown. And Denver, boy, oh boy, did they need that.
Yep, and that was the only touchdown that they scored all night. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Denver squeaks out the win, 10-7. Pearl, it was ugly in every way possible, unless you love a good defensive battle. But
nope.
This was the kind of game, again, 10-7 was the final score. You had wind, all types of things.
Missed field goals.
Block punts. We've asked this question sometimes. Just because a game is close doesn't mean a game is good, right? Are all close games, by definition, good games?
No.
And I think last night really gave the definitive answer. That's a no.
That was just rough. It was a hard watch. You had to feel bad. I think Geno Smith, the people around him on that team are so bad right now, except for Brock Bowers, who didn't get any targets for some reason, which was frustrating you, Maggie.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, how about Chip Kelly? Can we get Brock Bowers on a linebacker? Goodness gracious.
Man, I'm marinating.
Let's get to Nick Costos. You just heard a little drop there. The host of You Better You Bet joins us every week at this time to help us win some money. Nick, how you doing?
I got this take, man. This take is sensational. I've got a lot of takes. Here's one for you. That game should have come with a Surgeon General's warning last night.
Bad for your health.
Absolutely horrific. I disagree with the notion that this was like a great defensive game. I thought the Broncos played really well defensively. The Raiders' defense is horrible. The Broncos' offense was absolutely miserable. It was a total waste of 3 hours watching this game last night. And no one loves the NFL more than me.
Yeah, it's not good when your team has more penalties than first downs, and that applied to both teams. But, Nick, let's start with some college action because we've been kind of neglecting that a little bit. This BYU Texas Tech game, which is obviously super important, Pearl, for the Big 12. You got BYU on the road. It's a 10.5-point spread. I feel like this has really jumped, but tell us how you see this one, Nick.
Yeah, so I'm actually a little surprised by the line move here.
Yeah.
The last I had checked, and this was like after my show ended last night, and I can do like a quick search here, is that BYU star running back LJ Martin is expected to play in the game for BYU. Yeah, upgraded to available on the Thursday injury report, so he's going to go. So despite that, money coming in on Texas Tech, and if I bet this game, and I'm not sure that I'm going to, I will take the points with BYU. BYU has been excellent against the spread this year, 6-2, 2 wins outright as underdogs. And I like their quarterback, Bear Backmeyer, quite a bit. Now, you like him less, obviously, as a dual threat option without the running threat of LJ Martin. But now that you have Martin there, I think it opens things up for the BYU offense. So if I had to bet the game, BYU plus 10.5 is definitely a bet for me if we get there. It's 10 right now at BetMGM. 10 I would consider with BYU. But I think my bigger take coming out of this game is going to be, and I guess it kind of depends on the matchup, right? If and when these teams get to the college football playoff. I'm just kind of out on the Big 12 in general. Now, maybe you can catch like a bad SEC team that makes the playoff that we don't feel that great about, and maybe you could win one college football playoff game. But as far as winning like multiple college football playoff games, I don't really like any teams in this conference. And as it stands right now, we'll see what the matchups are. I don't think I will take any Big 12 team to win even one college football game when we get there.
Not even Texas Tech doesn't scare you at all?
Well, I think what's going to happen here is, if I'm right about this, look, if Tech stomps a mud hole in BYU and it's like 34-7, like if they beat BYU the way they beat Utah earlier in the year, I'll come on You Bet on Monday and I will say, you know what? Like, I was wrong about Texas Tech. This is the flag bearer, right, for the Big 12. And if they get the right matchup in the college football playoff, then yeah, like I think Texas Tech could win a game, could maybe make some noise. I don't see it playing out that way pregame, but look, I can be wrong. They're a 10-point favorite. They're expected to win by a lot. If they look awesome, I may be willing to say, okay, like let's have a Texas Tech conversation here. I think the game's going to be closer than the betting market indicates, so I'm not there on the Big 12. I'm not there on Texas Tech.
Okay, of course, that is the big game at noon, but it was supposed to be Indiana-Penn State. The spread is now Penn State's getting 15.5 points. I thought the spread would be much bigger. I feel like Indiana just stomps on people. Aren't they going to win this game 48-10?
They could, and that's certainly been like the MO of this team is blowing out bad competition and really just kind of beating everybody.
Right.
But I think about, and I'm trying to find what the exact number is of the. Okay, so Ohio State hosted Penn State, right, a couple weeks ago. Ohio State was like an 18.5-point favorite in that game. So now we're flipping home field. So basically what this betting market is saying is that Indiana's really close to Ohio State. And maybe this is like a downgrade of Penn State and an upgrade of Indiana. I'm actually not there on the number here. Now, stepping in front of Kurt Cignetti and Indiana does like not seem like something that's a lot of fun to do. I'm not necessarily looking to bet against Indiana in spots like this, but I do think the number is like a little out of hand here. If I had to bet the game, I would actually bet Penn State for that reason. Like I think Ohio State's the best team in the country, like with the bullet. And I don't think that Ohio State and Indiana on a neutral field are like the same team. I don't think that. So that would lead me to wanting to take the points with Penn State. Would it be one of my favorite bets of the weekend? No. But if I had to bet the game, I would bet the Nittany Lions.
Okay, Nick Costos joining us as he usually does on Fridays at this time. Are either of your best bets for college Texas A&M laying 7 on the road at Mizzou or Oregon -6.5 on the road against Iowa? Do you like any bets in those games?
Yeah, the A&M Mizzou game, I guess I would lay A&M if I had to, but not a strong betting thought there. I do have a pretty strong betting thought in the Oregon-Iowa game. I think a lot of people are on Iowa here and think Iowa can keep this game close. And Iowa, I thought, got a pretty favorable college football playoff initial ranking. I don't think the Hawkeyes will make it, but I think that was the committee kind of saying, like, yeah, like, Iowa's pretty good. I feel like Oregon was a little disrespected in this initial college football playoff ranking. And I thought by and large, like the ranking was pretty good. Like Greg McElroy said on the TV coverage on ESPN, like I'm not going to really like argue about this. It looks okay to me. It looked okay to me also. But one of my minor quibbles was Oregon being 9th. And it's this idea, and this is kind of a philosophical thing, and I can understand people that would disagree with this opinion. It's like Oregon gets no credit for the Penn State win because of what's happened to Penn State since then. But when Oregon won on the road to Happy Valley in the night game, in the whiteout, James Franklin's still the coach. Drew Aller's the quarterback. The game goes to overtime, and like Penn State's thought of as being awesome at that point, and Oregon wins that game. And, Penn State obviously loses to UCLA and loses to Northwestern from there, and Franklin gets fired, and Aller gets hurt, and now it's just like the game never happened. And I don't see it that way, like at all. Dante Moore, if he comes out and declares for the NFL draft, by all accounts, by any mock draft that you look at that's reputable, from a reputable source, a reputable company, this guy's a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. They have an NFL quarterback. I think Lanning's an awesome coach. Oregon's got way more talent than Iowa. And if there's one thing we know about Dan Lanning, right, wrong, or indifferent, he is going to take any slight, real or otherwise. It's from like the Saban tree, right? And he is going to make major bulletin board material out of it. You don't think he's showing his team this week? Like, look what the committee thinks of us. BYU is undefeated. I get BYU's ahead of us. Like, really? Like, that's what we're doing here? I think come Monday morning and come Tuesday and then the rankings and on Wednesday morning when we're talking about it, I think we're going to say that Oregon got hosed a little bit last week. I like the Oregon Ducks on Saturday at Iowa.
All right, let's switch over to the NFL. I always ask you about this. How do you bet the international games? Because the Colts should kill the Falcons that we've seen lately, but I feel like the Colts have this explosive offense. Maggie and I were talking about earlier. The explosives never translate overseas.
I do like Atlanta in the game to cover the spread at +6.5. It doesn't make me feel good to say that out loud. It feels like we may be in like a little bit of like a Colts bubble here, and that bubble may have burst a little bit last week against the Steelers. And I am not intimating at all that the Colts are not going to win the division or that they can't make noise in the AFC playoffs. They absolutely can. I think their upside is probably losing on Championship Sunday. I think that's probably the ceiling case. But you can't say that about like the vast majority of teams in the league, that the ceiling is to be one of the final 4 teams standing. So it's not meant to be a total anti-Indianapolis take. But the idea that the Colts are almost 7 on a neutral field against Atlanta, I would push back against that a little bit. Sauce Gardner's going to play in this game. Like, okay, great. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Drake London. And I'm not into the Falcons. Like, I had Falcons money line last week. The loser kicker, Parker Romo, misses the kick. He gets cut. Now here's Zane Gonzalez. I don't know if the Falcons are going to win the game. I feel like the point spread's a little big. I would bet Atlanta if I bet this game, plus 6.5.
Nick Costos joins us from You Better You Bet every week at this time. I actually have as one of my personal 10 commandments, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not, commit murder. Also, thou shalt never bet on the Falcons, because I just have to constantly remind myself.
They did cover last week, to be fair, against the Patriots.
What about when they're in Germany, Maggie?
Double when they're in Germany. That was 20 commandments, and 10 of them are don't bet on the Falcons. And that has nothing to do with 28-3. I've been losing money on the Falcons since before I could walk. Nick, I thought this was kind of an interesting spread, so I kind of want you to explain it to me and to everybody. I get it. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson back, but on the road against Minnesota, and Minnesota's a 4.5-point underdog? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I love the Ravens in the game.
Yeah.
And to cover.
The numbers, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And this number's gotten bet out. This was 3.5 at open. Now we're at 4.5, so it's not the same bet. But at current price, I would still only bet the Ravens here. I think what you're seeing now with Baltimore is that they are rated like they're the best team in the league, or power rated as one of the best teams in the league, like what they were at the start of the year. Like, do you remember the closing point spread against Buffalo? Like, the Ravens closed a favorite in that game, like at Buffalo, like the Chiefs just did. So Baltimore is now being thought of, and right, wrong, or indifferent, like the Ravens are fully healthy, and Lamar's back, and they've won a couple in a row, and now they're back to being rated as one of the best teams in the league. And for Minnesota, awesome win last week on the road in Detroit against the Lions. And I really thought the rest of the team outside, and we'll get to McCarthy in a second, that the rest of the team played really, really, really well and helped them spring that upset, specifically the defense. And Jared Goff has historically crushed the Brian Flores defense. Obviously, now Ben Johnson's gone, like maybe that has something to do with it. But this idea, and I don't even mean this as an insult to J.J. McCarthy, who's like barely played any football in the last couple of years. Like, he did not play great in this game. He had a couple like really good throws, the touchdown to Justin Jefferson in the first quarter, and the game-sealing throw to Jalen Naylor was terrific.
Yep.
That won the game on that third down. So he did make some good throws. He threw for 140 yards in the game. Like, this was not like a slate-breaking game from J.J. McCarthy. And I like McCarthy. Like, I think he's a psychopath in all the right ways. Like, I want the leader of my team to be so obsessed with winning that he's created an alter ego for himself. He calls himself Nine, like the Germany theme, Nine on game days. Like, he's nuts, and I like that. I don't know that he's ready for prime time in this spot here. I think the Ravens go into Minnesota and win this game by 7 to 10 points. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, we have a big question on the show, Nick. Can you give yourself your own nickname? Like it worked for Kobe, but that's Kobe, It's very rare that you can give yourself a nickname and it works out, like J.J. McCarthy gave himself the nickname 9.
Which, by the way, is like just his number.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's
just
even, like,
silly.
really a
Yeah.
nickname. Well, I think
you don't need
we
a Michigan education for that.
Yeah, I think one of the great, cultural barometers in the history of humanity would be Seinfeld. And they address this very concept on a great episode where George tries to give himself the nickname T-Bone.
Yep.
And in the end, they make his nickname Coco, and they give someone else the nickname T-Bone. So, according to Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David, like, no, you cannot give yourself your own nickname.
You don't know what the hell you're doing.
Okay. Two teams that I don't understand, and Nick, I want you to explain them to me. Patriots.
Guy on the board is on it right now, by the way.
Oh, Manny's in a Jackson Dart jersey right now, just slinging arrows.
Manny's doing some good work right now. Good job,
What the hell did you trade J.P. for?
Oh, best line in this show.
We always love some Frank Costanza. Yeah, it's great.
All right, two teams I don't understand. Patriots at Bucks. Bucks 2.5-point favorite. Haven't seen the Bucks. It feels like in a month. Two division leaders. How do you see this game, Nick?
Yeah, the Bucks. I made the same point on You Better You Bet yesterday because they played that Monday game against the Lions and then a very forgettable game where they just suffocated the Saints and Spencer Rattler's last start. And then the bye week. So you're right. It's been like a while since we've had Tampa on a Sunday in a game that's felt like it's meant anything. I think this game is so utterly fascinating. So Tampa, a 2.5-point favorite against the Patriots. Chris Godwin not expected to play. Bucky Irving not expecting to play. I look at this from the Patriots' perspective. And I think we're going to find out like how real like the Patriots actually are in this game. Like as Kendrick Lamar would say, are they really, really real? And I'm not sure what the answer to that question is. I know Drake May is an absolute monster. Like he's an absolute stud. There's no question about that. How's this defense going to hold up though against Tampa's offense? Like Christian Gonzalez is one of the best corners in the league. He just got destroyed last week by Drake London multiple times. Like can Emeka Egbuka do that? The Bucs' offensive line is going to be way healthier than it's been at points this season. Can they keep Baker Mayfield upright? And can Todd Bowles he's sending the house at a young quarterback. He's done it throughout his entire career. Can Drake May get rid of the ball and not hold on to the ball for too long and stretch the ball down the field? If I had to bet the game, I think I would lay Tampa, but honestly, I think this will be a fact-finding mission for me. Like, let's see how Tampa looks now coming out of the bye. And I don't know what this is going to be for New England. I'll say, I think the Patriots will score in the game. I don't know if their defense is going to get a lot of stops. So if I had to bet the game, I'd bet Tampa. I think I'll be on the sidelines here, but a fascinating real-life game on Sunday.
Nick, only got a couple more minutes here, but want to get to a couple more games. Rams at 49ers. Rams are 4.5-point favorite on the road. Pittsburgh at the Chargers. Chargers 3-point favorite at home. And then we won't talk to you before this Monday night affair. The Packers coming off of a loss to the Carolina Panthers, but hosting Perloff's Eagles, who are coming off of their bye. Of those three marquee games, what do you love most from a betting perspective?
All right, I'll give you quick thoughts on all of them. Like the number in the Rams-Niners game is gone up pretty, so now we're at 4.5. I don't know how San Francisco's defense gets like one stop in this game against the Rams. And I know it's a big number, and San Fran beat them earlier in the year. At the current price, I would say like Rams as part of a money line parlay. The Niners defense, like however bad like you think it is, like it's actually worse than that right now with all the players that are out. It's not even their fault. Tons of injuries. Rams are nothing. Sunday Night Football, I think is, if you have to bet the game, I think it's Steelers +3. The Chargers are now without both Slater and Joe Alt for the entire season. The offensive line is terrible. The Steelers' pass rush looked like it found something last week against the Colts. If you have to bet that game, I think it's Pittsburgh +3. But 3 has to be the number that you bet with the Steelers. And then Monday night, I think it really comes down to trust with the Eagles and the Packers. And the Packers have the upside, right, the ceiling, to win this game by 10. You know, we've seen the Packers at points this season look like play stretches of football where you can say, this is actually the best team in the league. Like, this should be the Super Bowl favorite. But then they're also capable of coming out and laying like Humpty Dumpty-sized eggs at losing to the Browns, losing to the Panthers at home last week. They're just a tough team to trust. And when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, like I feel like I know what I'm getting with this team. And before the bye, it felt like the offense has kind of figured it out a little bit. Playing more power football, way more under center, giving Jalen Hurts looks over the middle of the field in play action. They fortified the defense. Here's Michael Carter, which I think is fascinating because Carter, I think, is going to be the nickel corner. Cooper DeJean's probably going to play on the outside. I don't think that'll matter in this game against a bunch of Packers receivers less than the sum of its parts, but may matter moving forward down the stretch. Jair Alexander, the former Packer, and the big one, edge rusher Jalen Phillips. I think the Eagles are just going to win the game outright on Monday night. I just trust them more while acknowledging that if the Packers play their A-plus game, they could win by 10. But before the game, who do I trust? I trust the Eagles way more than I trust Green Bay. I'll take Philadelphia.
Sorry, Nick, real quick, I want to ask a non-betting question. Maggie and I spent the week debating the Colts trade and the Cowboys trade. I feel like both the teams that traded at the trade deadline for veterans gave up way too much. Do you have a quick thought on the 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner and a first and a second for Quentin Williams? I thought that the Jets got away with murder.
Well, so the Jets part of it, I think, is like unimpeachable. Like the Jets crushed it. This idea that, you have to draft players like these two, and you're trading them away. Okay, it's the old George Young quote. the late great general manager of the Giants, embroiled in a contract dispute with star linebacker at the time in the early 80s, Bradley Van Pelt, who wanted a contract extension pre-Parcells turning the franchise around, famously said, and this was reported in the newspapers, we went, and at the time they play less than, I think they played 15 games at the time, like we went 2-13 with you, we can go 2-13 without you. Like the Jets can go 1-7 with Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, they could go 1-7 without them, and now have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts where you have guaranteed yourself the ammo to A, get the quarterback of your choice, and B, maybe guarantee yourself Jeremiah Smith in next year's NFL draft. A++ for the Jets. Now, from the Colts' perspective, did they give up too much? Yes. How do we know that? The Packers traded 2 ones for Micah Parsons. Who do you think's more impactful, Micah Parsons or Sauce Gardner? With that being said, this could be a win-win trade if Sauce Gardner's unbelievable and the Colts, go to Championship Sunday or win the AFC. Jury's out for me on the Colts. Did they give up too much? Yes. But can it still pay off? It can. The Dallas part, you can't defend this because it goes back to the Micah Parsons trade. And it's like everything that's happened since then, we've all been to the casino. We've all lost like a hand of blackjack or a spin of the wheel in roulette. And then you go on what's called tilt and you start making bad decisions. Jerry is a gambler. He says he's a gambler, right? He loves to gamble. He wants to take risks and see what happens. He went all in on the Micah Parsons trade. He knows he lost. And if you listen to the things he's saying, he knows he lost. And now he's going all in with 2-7 off suit. Like Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams was great in 2022 and 2023. He's not a bad player. He's a good player. But the idea that you are restocking the cupboard with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark when you traded Micah frickin' Parsons, you can't rationalize it. You can't reason with it. They're not making the playoffs this year. It's not happening. They're 3-5-1. They're way behind the 8 ball. And I don't have a ton of faith that this is going to pay off even next year or down the road. F- for the Dallas Cowboys for the trade deadline deal.
Nick Costos, the host of You Better You Bet. You can watch him, listen to him every single day. Nick, thanks for doing this. We're flat out of time. We will talk to you next week.
Wishing everybody minimal sweats winning bets. The absolute very best of luck.
Absolutely love it. Nick, like Perloff, giving that an F- grade for Jerry.
No, that was very well said. The tilt is perfect. That's what Jerry's on. He's chasing that bad trade to start with. I mean, he's chasing bad moves that go back 3 or 4 years, but he's chasing, and it's never a good thing to do.
3 or 4 years, 30 years, ever since Jimmy Johnson left. I mean, we could really trace this thing all the way back. Okay, thanks to Nick Costos. If you miss any part of that, you can always download the Maggie and Perloff podcast or hit the rewind function on the Odyssey app. It is all there for you. You don't want to miss any of Nick's gambling takes. Okay, speaking of which, Pearl, let's get into the Prize Picks app because right now, we're obsessed with it. If you ever listen to our show, we're all about Prize Picks. And I've already really staked my claim here. And Jordan Mayava tonight, USC, taking on the Northwestern Wildcats, Pearl. 264.5 passing yards. Give me more than that. And I've already told you, I have no affinity really for anything in Boston sports, but Jaylen Brown has now become the butt of all jokes because he's spraying fake hair on his head. And I see big game for Jaylen Brown, not just because he's an awesome player and a finals MVP, but because he can't be the butt of the joke. And how do you do that? You win. Give me more than 26.5 points when the Celtics take on the Magic tonight.
All right. You know what? I love Friday Night College Football. Connor Wegman's on there. Houston, who I had hopes could sneak in the playoffs. That's not happening now. They play UCF. I'm a huge fan. I'm going to go more on Connor Wegman tonight. And it's so much fun to play Prize Picks all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action, especially this time of year with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code MNP to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Jaylen Brown, yo, it's time to end the madness. It's time to end the madness. Whoever your barber is, tell him to stop. Chill with the hair follicles. Those hair follicles. It's like a jar and he's spraying like hair from another human on there. But you playing ball, man. It's causing trauma. It's time to let's stop the madness.
It's gonna be a good day with Maggie and Perloff.
Shout out to all the pair.
Yeah, we're just a radio show now. We're actually just a Rick Ross stand show, posing as a sports talk radio show.
Yeah,
these days.
I mean, not necessarily the music, although EJ says it's great. For me, that he's amazing as a talker.
We're listening to Rick Ross right now.
I got to put you on.
So Rick Ross lost a lot of weight because he started eating fruit. He had never really eaten fruit before. And what went to the top of the list was pears.
Shout out to all the pear.
Yeah, losing our poll big time. What's better, pears or apples? 72% saying apples is holding strong. Rick Ross might be great at rapping. He's funny as hell. He is off when it comes to fruit.
I mean, that makes sense, though. I mean, you see him, right?
I mean, I wouldn't exactly take my
your
thoughts
nutrition
about it.
thoughts from Rick Ross. Also,
I'm not taking his
pears,
take.
you don't lose weight eating pears. I don't think.
Well, eat pears and stuff like that nowadays. So shout out to all the pear.
Got to be eating pineapple, guys. The stuff that burns.
Now, that's a
through
true
you.
number one overall seed.
Do love a pineapple.
Pineapple is undefeated.
Gross.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
Wow, that's
Don't
crazy.
like pineapple. The
That's
flavor
wild.
bothers me. The texture bothers me.
I thought you liked
That's why
pina
you like
coladas.
pear.
That's incredible. You should try. Have you ever indulged in a pineapple on top of a taco de al pastor or something like that? I got to take you down to
Yeah,
that
no,
Times
I
Square.
actually like pineapple and pizza, which people hate.
All right, well,
but
yeah,
I
I
like
like
it
that
cooked.
too.
I like pineapple cooked.
nope.
But you guys think everything you guys have this thing where everything you think everybody thinks.
What?
No,
you
no,
thought, you
Pearl.
thought pear was great, and you're getting smoked in the poll.
The poll question is saying
pineapple,
pears
I
are not
know
good.
as a fact there are anti-pineapple.
Well, I think some people it scratches the top of their mouth.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like-
I'm one of them. I think
Pineapples-
I'm allergic to pineapples,
I
but
think
you know
you
what?
are.
Pineapple is
Delicious.
Same here.
polarizing. They're polarizing.
No, only on pizza. I think people like pulling out pineapple regardless.
Like raw pineapple.
Yeah. Or like
Yeah.
pina colada. That
Yeah,
taste.
or that
Pina
too.
colada.
You're
is
welcome.
awesome.
You're welcome.
I think raw pineapple, just like eating it like an apple, is controversial.
You don't eat the outside of the pineapple. You gotta cut it.
Oh my God, it'd be like chewing on glass.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Pineapple's amazing. How do you not like pineapple?
Pineapple, like raw pineapple, is not my jam. I don't know why. It's a little too something.
So how do you prefer it cooked? Medium rare? or
Grilled.
rare?
I like it in desserts. Like I like
like a peach cobbler.
yeah.
That's
It's just I don't know.
A pineapple like upside down cake.
What's your favorite fruit related dessert? Like a
pumpkin pie.
I love bananas Foster.
Mm.
Oh man, inject
Peach
it right
cobbler,
in my
baby.
veins.
I don't discriminate. Give me
peach
all of
cobbler?
it.
Peach cobbler is the goat.
Anything that's hot and cold together, I like as a dessert. So I like a bananas Foster with ice cream, like a cherries Jubilee.
Apple pie and vanilla ice cream is
Something
apple
like that.
pie.
All-timer.
That's a traditional one seed.
Yeah, that's
So
Duke.
shockingly,
That's
this is
American.
not the most lopsided poll that we put out today.
What?
Pears versus apples, but it's pretty much pears are getting smoked. Do you consider the Broncos a true Super Bowl contender? Now that is lopsided.
Oh right, we do sports.
85% of the population saying no. And after last night, I could understand. 10-7 was the final score. Broncos win. They've won 8 in a row, but it almost feels like a technicality because they keep pulling these wins out of a place where the sun don't shine. Let's get to Bogish, who's got the latest. What's up?
And the latest is the beginnings, finally, of updates on Jaden Daniels. It appears that there's no ligament damage. He does not need surgery for that nasty elbow injury. So maybe not even a trip to short-term IR. He'll be reevaluated during the Commanders' bye week. So as gross as it was, it might still end up being, I guess, best-case scenario, for lack of a better term.
I guess, but at this point, do you feel like if the season is not trending in the right direction, I don't know if you can say lost yet, but if it's not, don't you protect Jaden Daniels in the future?
I would.
The Commanders made this mistake with RG3. Now, this was a different regime, different owner, different nickname, different mascot, different everything.
Except the stadium.
Except the crappy stadium. But you don't want to mess around with the franchise guy.
There's too many games left to do that. Like, I don't think that Jaden Daniels would not play for the last 6 to 7 games of the season.
I know, but as we've seen before, like if you're going to keep him in then and you're down 2 scores in a game, like he could get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that was dumb.
Well, we're already in week 10, so I mean, if he misses, hypothetically speaking, 4 weeks, I mean, that's still only another 4 weeks until for play.
I know, but they're saying they're not putting him on short-term IR, right?
At the moment, they are not, according to 2 different networks.
There's 3 and 6 right now.
Yep.
I mean,
And also, by the way, the rest of the team, even with Jaden Daniels in there, the defense is a problem as well. So it's not like if Jaden plays, that it's guaranteed they're going anywhere.
And are we guaranteed that Terry McLaurin is healthy?
is it time to just start really fading Washington? I mean, we're talking to Nick Costos, who joins us from You Better You Bet every week. So they have Detroit this week, Miami and Spain the week after that, then the bye.
Madrid.
Denver, Minnesota, Giants, Philadelphia, Dallas, Philly.
So they've got 2 games and then they're bye.
Yep.
Yeah, but Fade. I mean, they're over a touchdown underdog at home against Detroit. There's not much
look what
you
happened
can do.
against Seattle. That was at home.
But no, as a playoff contender, I think it's done.
No, not playoffs. I'm saying let's fade them game by game. Like, do you just start betting against them so heavily? I know Nick always tells us this stuff is baked into the spread, and you can't,
why would it not
game
be?
them? Well, because they could lose to Detroit 42-10.
You don't. Yeah, you know what though? You know who's pretty good at picking these lines? Vegas. 7.5 at home is a huge line. I mean, that means that they basically Detroit, who's coming off a loss to a 500 team, is that much better. But I get what you're saying. It does feel like they've given up. I mean, I don't know if they baked in the give up factor, but I'd give up if I was Commanders.
Let's jump back to last night. Boo Nix might want to scare up a few more points for his Broncos. Just 10 on Thursday Night Football, but enough to get their 7th win in a row.
We just have a tough and resilient football team. We find ways to win. Usually right now it's the defense leading the charge. They just continue to get us the ball back. A bunch of sacks tonight, a few that were in field goal range that knocked them out. And you'll win a lot of games with the defense playing like that.
The defense sacking Geno Smith 6 times total, only allowed 188 yards and 10 first downs, leading to this 10-7 final in Denver. Nix threw a touchdown pass plus 2 picks. His offense only producing 220. Pete Carroll's team drops to 2-7, but the coach remains his positive self.
To fight against these guys like that the whole night long and to have a chance to tie the game up, and then what would happen next, I don't know. I think we would win. And there's a lot of in-between things to talk about, but the way that they competed was just what we're hoping for. It was just what we're looking for.
What a sweet old man.
No, that was like a little...
Here's your word, those original grandkids.
What do you think would have happened? I think we would have won. You didn't really say that confident. What does the Kevin Hart thing? Say it with your chest? I didn't really do that.
It was Daniel Carlson that missed a tying 48-yard field goal with 4.5 minutes left. One of the hits on Geno left him with a bruised quad. He thinks he'll be okay moving forward. More World Series memories this morning. Joe Davis had to broadcast all 18 innings of Game 3, and he is either strong or sick.
I actually didn't pee. So that's something that's impressive, I swear. Yeah, afterwards I was like, dang, that's good stuff, dude.
One of the benefits of being 37 years of age, you can go almost 7 hours without having to go to the bathroom. That's not something you and I could do.
I can't go an hour.
Yeah, so.
Well, bladder size is not a strength of mine either, but I dug deep, boys. Like, I do not like the window seat because I don't like bugging the guy in the aisle. I go a lot. I just happened to be on my game that night, I guess.
Well, if you're Joe Davis's urologist, maybe make a phone call, see if you can get a little coke pay at him.
Totally agree on being on the window seat on a long flight and having to wake up the guy because you have to go to the bathroom. It's the worst.
Yeah, aisle seat for life. I'm with you there. But
because of the bathroom or because of the leg room?
The bathroom and the leg room. But here's the thing. So Joe Davis went 18 innings, did not go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, Scott Hansen does this every week.
Uh-oh.
I think Scott Hansen does bathroom breaks.
Siciliano didn't do the bathroom. Hansen does a bathroom break.
Hansen said he does not do bathroom breaks.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, he says
I
he
thought
does
that
not.
was all an Andrew Siciliano thing who had the old red zone.
No, he eats Kalamata olives, he says, are absorbing of whatever's inside.
He says, quote, "My bladder is famously trained."
See?
It's a direct quote.
It's so funny. I did not know that he did that as well. Siciliano was super famous because Siciliano doesn't take breaks like Hansen does. There'll be a 4:00 game where you'll go 3 minutes where they'll just go to the games if there are only 3 games. I figured he was in the bathroom. I was dead wrong.
He says he does not go to the bathroom. And so I know Joe Davis, you get a lot of credit. You basically called 2 baseball games in a row without going to the bathroom.
Congratulations. You now have a UTI.
But, I mean, Hansen does do it 17 weeks out of the year.
All right. Never sorry I played it. My
mean,
bad, Joe Davis and ESPN Radio in
I'm
Chicago.
just saying, trying to get a little credit for something that a guy is just doing on the regular.
You're not giving JD any credit for holding it all in.
I mean, he doesn't expect to do an 18-inning game, Maggie. I think that
Okay.
like
Two
Scott
games.
Hansen comes in expecting to
That's
go
fine.
on for
She's
7 hours.
seriously
But
unimpressed by
also,
this.
he knows
Yeah.
exactly when his commercial breaks are coming, right? End of the inning, you know you got time. He's choosing not to go to the bathroom. Like Scott Hansen, you don't know when an interception's coming. You don't know when a big turnover's coming. Like, you got to be in there.
Yeah, but that really applies only to that first window. He knows he's got places, as Pearl just said. If he wanted to go to the bathroom, he could go to the bathroom during the 4 o'clock games. Because they do at times just put one game up there and walk away.
But you don't know where the bathroom is in comparison to the studio.
I'm sure it's close.
in
What,
LA.
well, what if all three games go into commercial at the same time?
Yeah, see, Hansen can't walk away, guys.
That's tricky.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No,
because
You're
you suck.
impressed.
Give me, I'm all in on this topic. That was great.
Speaking of you, Pearl, we know how much you love Moneyball. Paul DePodesta is in the book.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill kind of played him in the movie.
Yeah, version of him.
Last 10 years, he's been in football with the Browns. Now DePodesta coming back to baseball, reportedly to be the Rockies' new czar of baseball operations.
I mean, I get it. You see everything that he's done for the Browns. You got to get that guy back in the building.
This guy, how's anyone stayed away? I mean,
The
the
Browns
Browns have been such a model organization.
They put together the greatest pedigree of a front office of all time. Sashi Brown, I think Yale, Andrew Barry, Harvard, and Paul DePodesta, the ultimate genius. I don't know what happened there, but
he was in the
anyway.
wrong sport.
Whoop-de-doo for them. But you know what it's going to be
Is that
like?
what it was?
Yeah.
You know that famous Mike Shanahan when he coached. We were just talking about the Commanders when he coached RG3, and they talk about all the coaches who were in the building. You know, Sean McVay, obviously his son Kyle, Raheem Morris was there, Mike McDaniel was there, Kevin O'Connell was there, all these guys. But that team actually wasn't very good. It's the same thing with the Browns. Like, they have this all-star front office, but they barely make the playoffs.
The 1 year with RG3 was good, but
Yeah,
you're right.
he won Rookie of the Year, but-
no, it's a great point. But you think of the greatest coaching tree ever was Mike Holmgren had all those pros, but they were great. So they were different. The Browns have tried everything, and none of it has worked.
Damon Jones pleaded not guilty to his federal charges from the sports gambling sting that also pinched Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier. And on the court last night, just the Suns and Clippers in Phoenix. The home team won 115-102. Jalen Green scoring 29, 24 from Devin Booker. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard were out for LA, so they lose their third in a row.
Quick comment on the Jones headline. I saw that was the news story that Jones.
Damon Jones.
Yeah. I immediately forgot which Jones it was. The heat has died down on this gambling story fast. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I know it'll come back a lot. I feel like it died down a bit. Like the NBA might even get through this without it being a devastating because there hasn't been like LeBron. Nothing ever happened there. Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, and Chauncey Billups. I don't think this thing is necessarily going to be as bad as we thought it was. Am I crazy?
I think you're right.
They played games that night. I mean, it's not like they didn't cancel anything.
I know, but we're talking about it less, and like we care less
Well-
immediately. It felt huge the day it happened.
No, because it's a bombshell that dropped. I mean, they dropped this whole thing in our laps for effect, right? Like, they had two twin investigations going on. They put it all together. They presented it in a really clear, concise way. We were able to understand it. And then you're watching guys get taken out in handcuffs and we get mug shots. You're never going to top that day. Because now they're all getting, they're all in their individual places, right? Like different arraignment dates and different court dates and different this and that. So we're never going to get that full bombshell day ever again.
But in the heat of that scandal, it felt like this is going to be a thing the NBA is dealing with all season. And by the way, it still could be. But I feel like the NBA has quietly moved back to the court for better for the league.
Well, I ask you, is that because the story is not important or impactful, or is that because our attention spans are that of goldfish and the news cycle moves on so fast? Like,
Well, I also, too, everybody, during a scandal, everybody feels like this is the biggest thing, and they always die. Every single one. Except for Ipe with Maggie.
She kept that thing alive.
Let that die.
That's her fake moon landing.
It's my North Star. Anyway, thank you, Bogues. Okay, coming back, Perloff and I have the one question that must be answered before we say goodbye for the weekend. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes.
All right, eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes a part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for, it's all there. eBay, things people love. All right, what's going on in the association, EJ?
Well, two of the league's best big men are in action tonight in the NBA Cup. Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs are at home to take on Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets. Tip-off from San Antonio is at 7:30 Eastern. After that, Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets welcome in Jimmy Butler and the Golden State Warriors. No Steph Curry for the Dubs tonight. He is sick. Tip-off from Ball Arena is slated for 10 Eastern. Both games will stream on Amazon Prime Video.
Did you say the in-season tournament starts tonight?
It's already started. It's in action.
What? So it's not even a mid-season tournament. It's an early season tournament.
Yeah, this has been how it's been.
It all ends by like December. And it's over by the second week of December.
That is, that's ridiculous.
I can't do this for another year in a row with us arguing about the in-season tournament. Meanwhile,
that's why I added it to the script in the NBA Cup. Made sure I brought
you
it
knew
up.
it would make me mad. That was just to troll Andrew Perloff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you always got to bring up Philadelphia unprompted, so I had to troll you back a little bit.
He's been very mad about that.
Oh, I hate you.
let's get to the weekend where, Philadelphia is going to be front and center, but not till Monday night. They go to Lambeau to play the Packers. But, Pearl, if I was going to ask you, and I am asking you, the most important NFL game this weekend and the most important college game this weekend, for whatever reason you see fit, what do you got?
Well, for me, college starts. BYU Texas Tech is huge. I find it so weird, and maybe I'm very shallow, that BYU, I know they're 8-0, they're ranked higher than Texas Tech in the college football playoff ranking, but they're 10.5 or 11.5 point underdogs.
Well, because the running backs hurt, but yeah.
I mean, still, that's a huge spread for two top 10 teams.
I agree.
And honestly, I also think, Texas Tech, they're so funny too because they seem to run into injuries all the time. So I think Texas Tech wins big. I think they're obviously seem like the Big 12 representative in the college football playoff. And football, a little weird. I think this Niners-Rams game is going to tell us a lot. We had Nick Costas on earlier in the hour who said kind of like the Rams to run just move the ball at will on the Niners. Kind of feels like the trajectory of the NFC West could change on that game. I'm not counting out the Niners as much as Nick did, but that could really be a message game in the NFC West.
Sorry, misspoke. LJ Martin expected to play, pardon me, coming back off the injury for BYU. So pardon me on that. Yeah, it does seem like a lot of points, but you're laying them with Texas Tech, you just said?
Oh, yeah, no, I absolutely am. I think Texas Tech is a really good team. BYU feels like a kind of a fake 8-0. Then again, BYU is a funny team. I think Nick said it earlier, and I agree. One Big 12 team, Maggie. I think. There's no way. I think the loser of this game is out.
But that's what happened last year, too.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah, not exactly.
My big college game this weekend is going to be Oregon-Iowa. And I understand all the reasons why you would love Oregon in this game. And they are, I think, big favorites. Maybe not for college so much, but 6.5 point favorite is not nothing. And to me, I think Iowa is a really tricky place to play. And I'm not saying that Oregon looks especially vulnerable or anything like that. They got beaten by Indiana, and Indiana is the second best team in the country according to the college football playoff rankings. But to me, this is massive because if Oregon loses this game, there's just no safety net here. Unless there's a major stumble between Ohio State and Indiana, those are the teams that are going to play for the Big Ten championship. And those might be the only two Big Ten teams that get in. A 2-loss Big Ten team who doesn't play in the championship versus all those other 2-loss SEC teams that we're going to have, I don't know how promising that would be for Oregon because you still have the conference champions, the highest-ranked conference champions that are going to take up spots. Notre Dame's getting in somehow, so they're going to take up a spot. I just think this is everything for Oregon. So that's my biggest college game.
Yeah.
As for the biggest NFL game, and maybe I'm a little bit of a prisoner of the division that my team is in, the Buffalo Bills, but I think this is massive for the Patriots. The Patriots haven't played really anyone except for Buffalo, and that was a really big win on the road against a very rested Buccaneers team. I'm curious, every time this Drake May MVP buzz and Mike Vrabel hasn't playing so well, and they could have win the division, top seed, the whole deal. I want to see how they play against a really good defense. I want to see how Drake May looks against Todd Bowles, who has been known to be confuse young quarterbacks in a pretty spectacular way.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest NFL game this week. Like, are the Patriots a real contender? I can't tell because their schedule's so easy.
Okay. You have a fun thing tonight. You weren't going to bring it up, but you're going to, I believe, a show for the New York Comedy Festival with some friends.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. I was looking at the lineup. There are a lot of big names. Margaret Cho, Louis C.K., what's the guy's name? Pete Holmes, who I love. There's a reunion of Amy Sedaris and Stephen Colbert from Strangers with Candy. There's so many big acts. Which one are you seeing? Are you seeing one of the A-listers? Are you seeing Chappelle, Kevin Hart? What's going on here?
No. No, I'm not seeing one of those A-list people. I am hosting a girls' weekend in New York City.
Okay.
That sounds awful.
Feeling a little pressure, not going to lie. As anyone who hosts anything always is. But there's a little bit more on top of it because there's someone who's flying in for our friend's birthday. But because of the government shutdown, we're not sure if she's going to get in. And I kid you not, every reservation happens to be under her name, which I'm sure is fine. It's just like that's the way it kind of worked out. But no, I'm the one who's closest to New York. So I'm the one who's kind of hosting this. And we got tickets to a comedy show. And I don't know if we're going to recognize one person who's in.
Yeah, that's why I don't host.
But that being said, it's going to be so funny. I mean, there's so many great comedians right now. You're going to love it. Remember, take notes on a couple of jokes, and if they're clean enough, share them on Monday. Which you never know.
Honestly, if only the whole weekend was just the comedy show. I got to do all the other stuff, too. Thank you, EJ Stewart. Thank you, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogush, Andrew Kaplan, Weedos, Coffee Drinkers, and Nick Costos. We'll see you Monday.
Shout out to all the pair